On the last episode of Weebs in the Hood, the crew discussed their favorite villains. As Ray fangirled about Gilgamesh, Antonio kept to his roots, talking about Darkseid, and Bryce once again had to bring up the conclusive fact that King Bradley is just built too different. And now we present the new episode of Weebs in the Hood.
It's Gilgamesh.
My bad, nigga. I knew it the moment I said it. I saw your face just, what's up, y'all?
What's up, everybody?
Was goody good.
Welcome back to Weebs in the Hood.
Hope y'all missed us.
Yeah, hope y'all missed it. Big things have been happening.
Video edition 2.0. Ting, ting.
That new
Fight!
Weebs in the Hood remastered.
That
Remastered.
new.
How you guys been, man? How you guys been? Welcome back.
A lot of work and a lot of play. Got a whole bunch of shit we've been cooking up.
No, that's
You know what I'm saying?
facts. That's
So,
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, speaking of play, Weebs in the Hood Twitch streaming. We're here.
We are here. Weebs in the Hood Twitch streaming. We are here. You can see us on YouTube.
By the recording of this, I will have already streamed 3 or 4 times, 2 officially, 2 tests.
Right now, it's just Ray, but don't worry. Your loving buddy, Tone, will be in there soon enough.
I'll be kicking it. We be kicking it with some magic. I'll be throwing some hands on Spell Table Commander.
Yep.
Play a little bit of Among Us. Doing some Street Fighter stuff. Let me know what y'all want to see us play, and I can hop in there and we can see if we can make it work.
Being tuned for me and or Bryce to be streaming a lot of Siege in the near future.
A lot of tactical, galactical type shit.
Indeed.
I might have to get hip to it.
You should. You really should. I mean,
And this episode's going to be coming out on 4th of July weekend, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So to all y'all who are watching this, happy 4th of July,
Happy
man.
4th.
Stay safe.
happy 4th of
Be
July.
responsible. Don't
Yeah.
be doing no dumb shit, right? But have some fun.
No, do some dumb shit. Do something evil Tone would do.
Don't
No,
be
don't.
raiding. Don't be doing no pillaging, but have some fun.
Yeah.
Ain't got to raid and pillage, but you
Hey,
can have
hey,
some
listen.
fun.
Make
Same.
sure you drink some of that Hennessy or whatever you motherfuckers drink. Get some good in your body.
Tone's been on that Hennessy today.
Yeah, he been.
Yeah. Tone left. Jerome's here now. Yeah.
So, guys, I remember last week we were talking a little bit. Some people are curious about the whole Black Air Force Energy Incorporated company structure, because we've talked about certain levels, and people haven't really gotten a hold of like what it takes to
make it
there. And I want to preface this part by saying this first. This is all opinionated.
Yeah.
Very much all
Yeah,
opinionated.
very much opinionated.
Like I got niggas in 3 that are 3 and 2 stars that these motherfuckers probably wouldn't.
100%. 100%.
I was about saying we also got to take into effect.
They're
Shout out CJ to Champ, right?
Yeah,
Because he
he-
also has a Black Air Force.
yeah, he
Shout out.
He is the
Yeah.
I think he is the originator
Yeah.
of the whole thing.
The Black Air Force, like, but see, after CJ did it, you feel me? A lot of other niggas started doing it, right?
Including
so
us.
Right, yeah, us included. So that being said, it is the Black Air Force, the B1AS, Black Air Force One Association. It is, we're spanned everywhere, right? There's multiple branches everywhere.
100%.
The Weebs in the Hood branch, right? This is how we just grade our niggas. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? If we get a transfer, if we get a transfer nigga to come to us, you know what I'm saying? He might be a 2-star nigga over on Dude's channel. I might consider that nigga to be a 1-star nigga. Like, granted, he gonna be a high office first floor nigga, but
Yeah.
you know,
You gotta-
it's an
I
opinion.
agree.
To each his
Right,
own.
right.
To each his own. We
You-
stress that all the time on this
Right.
channel.
Yeah, to each their own. You got to think of the way we discuss stars. Think of it as Think of it as not hotel. Think of it as a business.
Yep.
You have at the very bottom, you have all your first floor people. That's your receptionist, your security guards,
Your stock.
your stockers, your people down there. Maybe got some like cold callers, people like doing stuff like that.
Krillin.
Yeah.
Leave my nigga Krillin out
Strongest human. He is
He's-
Black Air Force
look.
Energy certified.
No. But
What? What?
No.
Go against that nigga right now.
He ain't listen.
I ain't-
Krillin ain't no black Air Force nigga, but he do got that dog. in him.
He got that dog in him.
I'll give
And
him
He's
that.
black for he can
he's
blow up a
strong.
planet.
That don't make you.
I mean,
that don't make
That's
you.
power
would
level
he?
though. That's power level though.
Yeah, he got power, but
but that's power. I mean,
he's got power. I'll give him.
he has
that.
what a lot of niggas in DBZ don't have: a moral understanding of reality.
Yeah.
And that's what's hurting him here.
He also isn't. I mean, he sometimes he's a bitch, but he is willing to throw hands every now and then.
No, he's got bitched
Yeah, he
out.
got that dog in him.
Remember what we said. The more you get bitched out, the harder it is to put you in Black Air Force energy.
I feel like that doesn't count.
If Krillin had
I feel
a
like that
Zenkai
counts to a
boost
degree.
dog,
I
he
feel
would
like
be
that
an
counts to a
issue.
degree.
It does, but Krillin has gotten bitched out quite a bit.
Over
By
30.
by niggas that are way above him.
Man, that's crazy.
Wow, and he still went up
but
against
hold
them,
up,
and that's
hold up,
crazy.
But hold up. And
You got that dog in him.
hold up,
Ray
Tone,
is
no,
such in
hold up.
denial about
Here's
it,
the
bruh.
Here's the biggest problem with Krillin. Here's the biggest problem with Krillin. In
Ray's
Revival
like,
of
bro,
F,
whatever.
in Revival of F, he didn't even want to fight Frieza's soldiers. He was scared of the soldiers.
Bruh, think
It
about
wasn't until they swung at him and he realized, oh, I've been watching Goku do all this. I can hang with these niggas. He did not want to even deal with Frieza. So I could understand if the man that killed him was in front of him and he froze up. But he froze up against fucking Raspberry.
Now let me
Come on now.
let me holler at you.
I just
Ray.
really
Let
want to
me-
reiterate, bro.
let me
He
holler
is
at you,
literally
Ray.
just a
Ray,
he's literally still a
He
human.
is a literal bald short nigga.
He
And
is trying
just
so
happens,
hard, bro.
And he
Oh
just
my
so
God.
happens to be the strongest one. And every time, I mean every
Every
time, this nigga has gone up against anything that isn't human, he gets bodied. Every bro,
So
go
why
back.
am I putting
Shout
him-
out Team 4-Star. Go back to fucking Drag. They counted from the time
You're proving my point.
From the time Krillin, right?
That's not
From
no.
the time Krillin, but hear me out though. From the time Krillin, like from the time Dragon Ball Z started to the end of the Cell Saga, Krillin got his ass beat and taken out of the game 42 times, right? All of those times, he was fighting planetary killing niggas, right? Now, mind you, how many times Krillin has died? How many times? How many times has Krillin died?
He's died once.
By who?
Or no, twice. He's died twice.
By who?
Frieza
Frieza?
killed him and then Boo.
Okay, so
No, Deborah.
Deborah
got
Deborah
him.
turned
Deborah
him.
got him.
So, you know this nigga Frieza stay coming back. You know this nigga Frieza be chasing after yo nigga Goku, right? And you just, bruh, and these niggas just don't stop, won't stop, can't stop. Bruh, I don't give a fuck. I wouldn't want to fight none of them niggas neither.
Look, Frieza, sure, but his niggas that ain't shit. No, come on, you can't get bitched out to them. And you just admitted from 2 arcs, there are 3 arcs plus an entire another series that has 4 arcs.
It's you know what's
In
crazy?
just
It's the
2
fact that he
arcs.
doesn't want to. He's completely
just-
ignoring the fact that
he's
he's
in
human.
denial.
I know. He
In
just
just 2 arcs, he got bodied 42 times.
So let me ask you something, Ray. When was the last time you fought an alien nigga from another planet?
And if I got
Since you-
bodied 42 times, I wouldn't deserve to be in the company.
So let me ask you something, right?
But by
so let me
pure
ask you something.
power level
so Tone
alone, he
finds
got
out.
it.
So
Power
Tone
level
finds
doesn't
out.
give you. You need power level
Listen.
and attitude,
Listen
my
to me.
guy.
Listen to me. Tone finds out that he's a Super Saiyan tomorrow. I find out I'm a Namekian, and you still stay a human. And we wind up going around the universe saving niggas. And you get your ass beat 40-some times. And the same nigga that killed you the first time and continues to come back for you, and it's definitely a planetary issue. This nigga continues to come back, and for the 8th time, let's just say 8th time. For the 8th time, this nigga comes back, and he throws another one of his random hoodlum niggas at you. Are you going to fight that? And if you tell me yeah, Ray, camera, you're a fucking lie.
note to
you're a
note
fucking lie.
note to self that I just want you to remind you, even though it was a goon on that Frieza goon, that goon was still strong as fuck.
Right.
Krillin just did not know he was just that much stronger than him. He's a fucking human.
Because
He's
he
a
was.
human.
Y'all can't in the same sentence say he's the strongest human and he's got all this power, and then say, "Oh, he's allowed to be a bitch because he's fighting these niggas."
Ray.
Y'all can't. You
Ray.
cannot say both of those in the same sentence.
Ray, I know for a fucking fact if no
Y'all-
matter
y'all
how
see what I
many
gotta deal
fights,
with.
no matter how many fights this nigga Ray could get into, I'm telling y'all right now, I don't care how many fucking if you are fucking fighting and you've died multiple fucking times and you are definitely the lowest nigga on the totem pole, right? And some random fucking alien just rolls up on you because mind you, God knows how many times that you don't know what the fuck, bro. This is anime, nigga.
It's the fact
For all
that-
you know, Raspberry looks
you
like
know-
a fucking xenomorph, dog.
It's the
I've said-
fact.
I've
You know,
said this
chat.
before.
Chat. It's the fact that he is willing to give other niggas to get that can
Right.
get bitch made, that can
Right.
get put
This
on the
nigga-
Black Star
right.
energy.
Who else? Yamcha? You gonna say Yamcha's worth
But
it?
even though
No,
I give you,
no,
I even said that
He's worse.
Krillin. He's way worse.
Yeah,
Look,
Yamcha's
I'm-
garbage.
I even stated that yes, Krillin did get bitched out, but once again, it gets zeroed out because he still faced him regardless.
right.
He still faced him regardless.
Was Yamcha in there? No.
Look, I'm just not in my Black Air Force. He's not even. He's nowhere near there.
But that's what I'm saying,
He,
though.
he
Krillin
down
is-
the street and in the next city over.
Krillin is the only human that's willing to put
That's
in work.
willing to do that.
Look,
He's literally willing to do that.
I'll
willing.
give you that. But for me, you need. While Krillin is there, but there's always that tentativeness with him, and I can't resonate with that.
I mean, a lot of our protagonists and a lot of animes have that. A lot of our protagonists get bitched out in many scenarios.
Yes, but they're not in my Black Air Force energy.
I mean, Goku gets
They're not in the
bitched, got
company.
bitched out a couple of times.
When? Name it right now.
Nah, not Goku.
I was
Nah,
about
that's
to
cap.
say.
That's cap.
Yo,
I was thinking of
about to say,
Vegeta.
name.
I was thinking of Vegeta.
Vegeta ain't canonically. He's never gotten bitched out either. The only time
Non-canon
on-
speaking.
the only
Non-canon
time
speaking.
Vegeta has ever been bitched out
Non-canon
is in the original Broly movie.
That's why I said non-canon
I was about to say,
speaking.
you said not. I looked over when you said that, and Tony Emily was like non-canon. I was like, thank God you said that, because I was about to be like,
Non-canon
oh, did you
speaking.
forget?
Non-canon speaking.
I was about to say,
Oh my God.
I'm not.
I'm
yes.
solely believe they made that non-canon because they didn't want him to be a bitch.
Look, I'll say this: Krillin is cool. I like him.
Right.
I fucks with him. I appreciate everything he's done, sacrifice and put in, and I agree with his decision to get out. I agree with it,
But
but he just doesn't make the cut into my 1-star certification. He's applied. I'll give him that. He's applied to it. He has the credentials to apply. I just wouldn't approve it.
He don't have to be 1-star. He just in the Black Air Force Society.
You guys have approved him. That's cool. You guys can approve him.
That nigga didn't get 1-star though. I just say he's in the Black Air Force. There's 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. So there's Black Air Force, 1-star, 2-star, 3-star. Hell no, he's not gonna get 1-star.
That's fair.
Hell no, he's not gonna get 1-star. That's all I was trying to say. Like he's in the Black Force Air Force.
he got a coupon.
yeah, like
a
he's in
member.
there. Like he's a member of the Black Air Force. He's just
Yeah,
he's not
a
gonna get
member,
that star.
but he's not a resident.
He's just not. He's not gonna get that star.
So, as we've kind of gone into a little bit, there are 4 tiers of Black Air Force energy. You have your regular, you have your initiate membership. You are a member. You can say you are Black Air Force energy.
And you just be on just an aggressive tip. Like you can
Yeah.
just be a nigga that catch fade and still have a moral compass, and you can still make it.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
to at least level 1.
Level 2 is your 1-star. You in your show?
Level 2, your 1-star.
Wait, because if your first level is
That's 1-star. First level 1
So
star.
it's Black
Second
Air
level,
Force.
2
well,
star.
he just said
So it's
Krillin
Black
wasn't
Air
1
Force.
star.
Black Air Force.
Yeah.
Black Air Force 1-star.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh.
You said first. You said first level.
Yeah, if we're talking in actual levels, the very first level would be Black Air Force energy.
Yeah.
Then the second one would be 1-star.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
It's reworded.
Yeah.
Reworded. I see what you did there.
Because I'm thinking of it like floors, like
yeah,
a
yeah.
business.
You think of it? Yeah.
Then you go up one more floor to the second floor. No,
Third.
You gotta- to the third floor. Okay, look, I'm confusing myself.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said it was confusing.
Yourself out,
It's
bro.
confusing,
So you go to the third floor.
Which is 2-star.
Now you got your 2 stars. Now these is your people that probably have never been bitched out, and have
your
probably
3-star.
bitched a few people out.
Yep.
Nah, if you're on the 3-star, you have not been bitched out, and you bitch niggas out as a pastime.
Yeah.
As a
You're-
literal
As a
pastime.
literal pastime. If you're a
Dark side.
3-star, I'm sorry. As a 3-star, if you want to make it to a 3-star, that's where I get serious. You want to sit
Yes.
at the top.
That
you
is
wanna
the
sit at
table.
the top. That's when Big Dick Daddy Bryce is going to break down
that's-
your
so-
folder.
that's
and
what we
I'ma look at
talking.
your credentials.
Madara.
Yujiro.
Yeah, Yujiro, Escanor.
Aizen is definitely in there.
Niggas that roll up, talk heavy shit, run that shit. and then
Broly and Jiren are in there.
Broly and
Yeah.
Jiren. Oh, well, Jiren 100%.
Yeah, Jiren's definitely
Jiren talked
in
that
there.
mess and was about it.
But-
Like, goddamn.
So if we were to think of this in a company, 3 stars, that's not a floor. That is the room with the table where all the decisions are being made.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that. So if you getting 3-star, becoming a 3-star certified member, it takes a lot. There needs to be
Blood.
there needs to
Death.
be hands being thrown.
And don't worry.
For
emotions
no
getting hurt.
reason. For no
we
reason.
will have
the most ignorant level
good
of shit.
discussions whether who's going to be a 3-star, who
Yeah.
not, because that is very.
I'll tell you what, if
Ooh.
there's someone, if the chat wants to go back and listen to our previous videos, if there's someone that you don't think is valid of a 3-star title, please let us know.
I would
Please
love
let
to
us
hear.
know.
We
Yeah,
would
I would
love to
love
hear that. I'd love to hear that.
I'd love to hear it because man.
Those would be some interesting.
Like, don't get me wrong.
discussions.
Like, there are a lot of niggas that we still have to cover. So don't,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If you're like, oh well, this nigga ain't in there yet, we'll get to him.
We'll get to him.
Yeah.
Don't
We'll
worry,
get to
we'll
him.
get to him.
We've had the discussion multiple times about
Yeah.
literally just dedicating
an entire episode.
an
of
entire
discussing-
episode into just discussing that. But
Oh, and I do want to say there is a mythical another level.
Yes, there is.
Those
that's the deep state. That's
Yeah.
the deep state of the
those are the ones
forces.
that are behind the scenes. Those are the people that are in the building, but you don't really know why they're in the building.
You know they're there.
The
but yet they're
tribunals,
not
Marvel.
there.
Yeah, you know they're big. You know that you really can't fuck with them. You really shouldn't even be talking to them, but you don't know what they do.
The tribunals, Marvel.
Oh yeah, dog. Look, if you go if you're in DC or Marvel and you go past Galactus level, you're probably in that mythical level.
100%. You're 100% in that mythical level.
There are some people that just DC and Marvel get crazy. That if you know, you know. If you don't, there are plenty of YouTube channels that will discuss how crazy things get.
And don't
Like-
worry, we will do shout outs for them and also help include facts.
Comic Storian is a big one, and
A
Comics
really
Explained.
good. Yes, Comics Explained. I
Yeah.
love them.
Comics
Shout out
Explained and
Comics
Comic
Explained.
Storians. If you really want to know about some of these shit, Comics Explained. He goes
They get it
in
done.
depth. He's got a passion for comics, and I gives him that. But yeah, that's essentially Black Air Force Energy Incorporated membership. Or you called it an association. I kind of like that more.
Yeah, it's an
Black
association.
Black Air
Yeah.
Force Association.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black
I
Air
like
Force Association.
B1FA. Yeah.
B1FA.
Yeah. Black Air Force.
B1FA by
Association.
Weebs in the Hood.
Yep. Trademark that shit.
Yep,
Put a stamp
trademark.
on it. I'm gonna make stickers. I'm gonna make stickers. You see a fucking bumper sticker that says B1AF on it.
That's us.
Back
Right here,
the fuck
baby.
up.
Bass here, right here, baby.
You too close to see that bumper sticker. Back up.
I guess that go. I guess we go straight into our main topic.
Yeah.
Topic today: Game Revolutions. That was. I fuck all that up.
Yeah.
Tipsy. Games that was revolutionary for that decade.
We got some interesting.
We got some
ones for
interesting
y'all.
ones
Man.
for y'all.
Who gonna start us off?
I guess I'll start this off. My decade is 1980 through 1990. One of my picks, I just got. They're not really from number one, or it's just like 1 to 3, but they're not my top picks or anything. They're just picks. Number one is going to be Pac-Man, year 1980.
Okay.
Company Namco, creator Toru Iwatani, I really love that name. Iwatani.
It is different.
Yeah, that's why I said like, ooh, that last name is different. Definitely different.
It rolls off the tongue really.
Right?
nice.
That's what I said. The objective of the game is to eat all of the dots placed in the maze while avoiding 4 colored ghosts. These ghosts are iconically named Blinky, which is the red one, Pinky, which is the pink one, Inky, which is I think I can't pronounce that word.
What?
Cyan. Cyan.
It sounded like you were trying to say kaleidoscope, and I was
yeah,
like,
I couldn't pronounce it for a minute. I couldn't pronounce it for a minute. I was like,
click, nigga.
I got a Cyan and Clyde. My nigga Clyde.
The red one.
Nah, he's the orange one.
Oh yeah.
Clyde's the orange one. I don't know why he chose the name Orange Clyde, but I like it. Like if it was
Probably like a publisher's kid or some shit like
see,
that.
Now me personally,
Put him on the Clyde.
I'll put a black ghost in him and name him Clyde. I'm just
the one
saying.
name that's different. Clyde Black.
Clyde.
Token Black.
that man would have got hit with a razors with
a cease and desist real quick.
Blocked.
Like, yeah, why don't you just take your game and go somewhere?
Toru Tanani famously designed this game to the prevalent shooters of the era. The idea of eating the peel and powering up was actually inspired by Popeyes, and partly from the Japanese concept Kokoro, which is spirit or life force.
That's crazy that you bring up Popeye, because I did that. I noticed in my research that a lot of games between like the late 80s to like early 90s got a lot of influence from like really old cartoons.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
Popeye was huge.
Popeye was huge back
huge.
then.
Big, huge. It makes sense why he got inspiration from it. 100%. I mean, I want to eat some shit and power up. Like, what the fuck?
So that's where Mario and Donkey Kong got their inspiration.
Yeah. So I was doing research about a lot of these games. I was like,
Popeye.
Popeye. I was like, a lot of these creators got a lot of inspiration from Popeye. That's
Mario eating the mushrooms,
Why?
Popeye eating the spinach. Fucking
Okay, with the
yep. Bobo was super big, strong, goofy motherfucker.
Donkey Kong.
Yep.
All of it. The game was originally called Puckman, but the U.S. distributor Midway was worried that the word Puck could easily be modified
Yep.
by mischievous, basically by
mischievous
thugs.
kids,
They was worried that it was gonna get
Fuckman.
But yeah, basically,
Fuckman. Y'all trying to
they
play
thought it was gonna be Fuckman. I knew someone was gonna say something like Fuckman.
hey, and they sure would have too.
Yep. I'm trying to play some Fuckman, girl.
My second pick was Gauntlet, which was year 1985. I personally remember playing Gauntlet a long time ago. I think my stepdad showed it to me, and I was like, "Ooh, what is this game?" So when I got older, I was like, I heard about this game, and I started playing. I was like, "Ooh, I like this game." The game is developed by Atari Games and Tengen.
Okay.
It is a fantasy-themed hack and slash that is set within a series of top and down third-person orthographic mazes, where the objective is to find and touch the designated exit in every level. An assortment of special items can be located in each level that increases the player's character's health, unlock doors, gems, gain more points, and give magical potions that can destroy all of the enemies on screen.
Oh.
Interesting.
That sounds like a few power ups from Call of Duty.
Yeah, I was about to
Yes.
say,
It's
it's a little meta.
It's a really great game. It's really good.
Yeah.
Each player now this is what really made me happy about this game, because each player plays as 4 basically, I'm just gonna say iconic based characters: Thor, which is a warrior; Merlin, which is your wizard; Tyra, which is your Valkyrie; and a Quester, which is an elf. All basically related to the mythology.
Okay, so it's almost like you low-key had. So it's almost like a D&D before D&D, kind of.
Which brings on to my next fact.
Oh,
So the
like I did
creator,
that, huh?
so the creator got inspired from this game from his son, because his son actually liked Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
I thought it was really cool. That fact I didn't know about. So when I was researching, I was like, Fuck yeah, another fellow nerd. We like that.
Right.
We love that. He also got inspired by another game called Dungeon Crawl, and it was for the Atari 8-bit family.
Oh wow,
Dandy.
Oh, wow. I think I've only played Dungeon Crawl like once or twice.
See,
So
okay, I thought I was the
I've
only.
never gotten to experience
See,
it.
see, you gotta play. It's fun. It's fun. Like, give me some, Ray. I'm glad that you played it at least once. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was just at a buddy's house.
Another game that bears striking resemblance to this game. I don't know if y'all know this game, but it's called Time Bandit. It was back in 1983, and
I don't know that.
this game almost Gauntlet almost also had memory cards as well. It was also about to be the first game back in to have memory cards.
Okay.
Okay.
So definitely different. They pushed the red button on it for God knows reasons why.
Yeah.
But the fact that we almost had a game back then that was close to memory cards is wild to me.
I was about to say, back in the 80s, man, that would have been. That's.
Yeah, the big thing back in the 80s was those little codes that you would progress through the game and you get these codes.
Right.
Yeah, and you'd have to type in the codes in order to
Yeah.
go back to that point.
If y'all don't remember that shit,
Yeah.
that shit was
Oh.
a pain. You would have entire notebooks full of codes.
Like, fuck all that. Fuck that.
Remember NBA Jam? bro?
God, fuck
Jesus.
that. I was just thinking like,
That's
fuck.
literally what I was thinking.
God,
of.
like, god damn.
I was
Fuck
like, oh my
that.
god,
Memory unlocked.
Have entire pages full of codes.
the amount of notepads I went through.
Oh god, GTA.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Every year going to fucking GameStop begging for the new fucking game code
no,
booklet.
tone.
I'm almost done.
Okay, I was about to say you're
No,
missing a few.
I'm missing. I got one more. My last one, which is probably going to be my favorite. I didn't want to bring this up because it's too basic, but I'm going to say it anyway. Super Mario Bros. 3, year 1988. Yeah, I'm basic.
No, that's not why. That one needs to get brought up. It's
Mario
literally,
Bros. 3.
yeah, it was literally like, yeah, Super Mario Bros. We're talking influential and revolutionary games.
He was started.
Yep.
I think Mario was like the first time. That was one of the first major games.
You're right on the money.
It was one of the first major, like, because back in the 80s, it was arcades. Arcades is where you played video games.
Right.
70s is where they started, like mid to late 70s, and early 80s is when arcades fully took off. What made Mario insane was that it was one of the first arcade games to also have a console release. And it just took over everything.
Yeah,
Right.
Mario, Asteroid, and I can't remember the other one.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up
Asteroid was a huge one.
Asteroid.
Asteroid,
I was this
Space
close
Invaders.
picking it.
Asteroid.
I was
a
this
big
close
one.
picking Space Invaders too. I was like, some man.
Space
the problem
Invaders.
with Space Invaders and Asteroids is they came out in the 70s.
Also, Kung Fu Master.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
was remember
this-
that.
That Kung Fu Master is actually my
I
honorable
did
mention.
forget about Kung Fu Master.
For people that don't know about Super Mario Bros. 3, it is a 2D dimensional side-scrolling platform game in which the players control either Mario or Luigi, who must save Princess Toad and the other 7 rulers, 7 different kingdoms from the antagonist, good old Bowser. Shout out to Super Mario Bros. The movie that had recently came out.
The movie was fire.
Movie was fire. If you haven't seen it, you guys should definitely go see it. Jet Black plays Bowser.
Peaches.
Super Mario Bros. 3 was praised by critics for its challenging gameplay and it's regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time.
And
Devel-
I was saying I don't disagree.
And
It
I
is
don't,
one of many.
I
It
don't
is
disagree
one
at
of many
all.
that are considered the best.
It's also developed by Nintendo R and D4. This game also sold 17 million copies, making it the 3rd best-selling game on NES. Fun fact about this game, I found it funny for this. World 4 is shaped like a Koopa Trooper. I did
Yep.
not know that. So that was funny too. That was very, very
Yup,
funny
it
to
is.
me.
Yeah.
One of the screenshots shown on the back of the game box is actually a level that didn't make the game Final Cut.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I was like, wow, that's
I didn't know.
I was like,
Really?
Oh, what the
Wow.
fuck? I was like, okay, that's different. I like that. I like that.
That's different.
I say that was mine. That was my good old 3.
Wow,
yeah.
you disappoint me.
Wow.
Real? Wow.
There were 2 you missed, and they were revolutionary for what they started.
Which were?
Final Fantasy came out in the 80s,
Yep. Sure
and
did.
so did Legend of Zelda.
Yep. Sure
Okay.
That's why I'm just surprised you didn't pick either one of those 2 in there.
Super Mario. So, being honest, the topics I picked, Pac-Man, Gauntlet, and Super Mario Bros. Was all 1, 2, 3. At the top for being actually the best revolutionary.
Okay.
See, because here's my thing. Like, both of those games, like Legend of Zelda came out first, and it revolutionized the RPG scene.
I agree. No, I 100% agree.
Like it like turned everything on. It turned game like anybody who was like, because back at that time you were playing like the text scrolling.
Did Final Fantasy
RPG.
come out in the 80s?
Came out like 87, dog. The first one.
Oh, God. That was one with, I think that nigga Light.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
God.
I didn't play it, but I know it came
I
out.
did. God. Ew.
Mm.
Yucky.
Said,
Yucky.
But yeah, no, bare minimum, Legend of Zelda was like, I feel like it should have got brought up.
I feel like, I mean, yeah.
at least an honorable mention
Nah.
at bare
I was about
minimum.
to say for its era. No.
No.
In the
Mm-mm.
80s.
No.
Man,
I'm
y'all
sorry,
don't think
no.
so? It started it all. It started.
No.
In the 80s though, let's be real though. In the 80s, like that's when Legend of Zelda started. But Legend of Zelda back in the 80s was not even remotely as popular compared to what happened in
That
the
it doesn't
90s.
necessarily need to be popular. Dark Souls wasn't popular when it first started, but it revolutionized the gaming industry.
Not only
Okay,
that.
so then in your opinion then, I'm sorry to
No, go ahead.
but in your opinion, what is it about Link what is it about Zelda from the 80s that made it so revolutionary? In your
Because
opinion.
at that time period, you were, y'all have y'all ever seen Big from, or not Big? Big, the movie with Tom Hanks.
No.
Basically, well, put it like this: at that time, a lot of the RPG like storytelling games,
Yeah.
they
We're
were
very linear.
They
where-
weren't even linear. They weren't even like,
It was scripted.
yeah, it was all scripted, and it was the text-based
Where
ones
the
where
Legend
you,
of Zelda allowed you
Right.
to explore.
yeah,
So see in that aspect, yeah.
which
but,
Gauntlet did also do
I-
the same thing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I said I probably broke out a little bit there. But I also feel like that's personally why, like, yeah, it was revolutionary, but I don't know if you peep, but they strayed away from that and then are going back to it now, and people are acting like it's a new thing. So in my mind, I guess I don't really consider it too revolutionary because it was something that they adapted early and then slowly started going away from it.
I see. I guess I'm just thinking about it more like in the time of the '80s.
That's fair.
You do not see a Legend of Zelda. You don't see too
You
many
don't see
games like
games like
Zelda.
that.
You
I'll
see
give
a
you that.
lot of games like Mario.
Right.
You'll see a lot of games like Pac-Man.
Right.
Hell, Pac-Man did it themselves with Mrs. Pac-Man. You don't see too many Zelda clones.
I'll give you that.
That's what I think. That's what I kind of mean about revolutionaries. It kind of like it started its genre. That genre of single player storytelling and RPGs.
That's fair. I'll give you that.
I give you that. 100% agree with
They
that.
didn't take off
100%
until
That's a
agree.
fair argument.
I agree.
In
They
their
didn't-
own genre, yes, I can agree with you on that.
I take
one.
back my previous statement. That's a very good point. I didn't consider that fact.
I was like, I'll agree that it wasn't. It didn't beat out the 3 that you had,
Right.
but you didn't even put it as an honorable mention. That's why I was like, wow.
So I didn't bring it up because I just felt like it was just too basic. I was trying to go for things that nobody would think of.
Right.
The reason
But
why I said Super Mario Bros. Is because I just gave in at the last second. Remember, at first I did have a 2005. Remember?
Oh God.
See,
Yeah.
see, I gave in at the last second. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
That's fair.
And Super Mario Bros. 3 beats out Zelda. Let's just be real.
I don't disagree.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s, Super Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't
That's
challenge
that's
that.
the color. That's the color.
90s.
right?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
the
the,
color
yeah,
one.
the
I'll
color ones-
challenge it.
Yeah,
90s,
90s
I
is
might
a
challenge
different.
that,
90s is a
but-
different animal.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
That's the reason why I didn't want to go to 90s. 'Cause I
that
feel like I was
later.
gonna have a fucking brain aneurysm if I'm trying to decide over
Dog, there's
I would
90s.
have
so
had a
many.
fucking stroke over
Man,
it.
I'm just like,
oh god,
Dog, there's so
too
many
much
good
pressure.
ones in
Too
the
much
90s.
pressure.
bro, the 90s were an absolute banger.
I don't know if that's a good enough transition to go into the
Yeah.
90s. Why don't you go ahead and tell us what some of these bangers were?
Yeah, nah, I was about to say. So my generation has to be, or my decade has to be the 90s, 100%. 90s in general, right? The big encompass of the 90s was we evolved to 32, 64-bit gaming, which finally allowed 3D.
Right.
We're talking Mario Kart, we're talking Mario 64, GoldenEye, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Final Fantasy VII, another big
Right.
one, Metal Gear Solid, Banjo-Kazooie, Half-Life, Doom, Thief, Super
Pokemon
Mario
Stadium.
World,
Oh, so
Pokemon,
Pokemon
yeah,
Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium. This is a late one, but I still consider it. Tony Hawk Pro Skater,
Tony Hawk
Banger.
Pro Skater.
Super Metroid, Battlefield, the Lion King game came out, Chrono Trigger, Duke Nukem, like
Duke Nukem. Also
all
a good
are
one.
big super staple games. The three that I'm going to talk about, though, besides having like 3D quality and graphics, the reason I put them on the list is just for what I think that they did for
Mhm.
the game industry.
Which is fair.
Number 3, I got to start out with Donkey Kong 64.
Yes!
Donkey Kong 64.
I'm sorry I
is
peaked everybody,
goated.
but yes! Yes!
So
I love you.
So Donkey Kong 64, in my opinion, the 3D in Donkey Kong 64 is better than Mario World, Super Mario World,
Yep.
and Banjo.
Yep.
And
I
will
agree.
I will stand
Stand by
that.
it. I
And
will stand on
that
it.
until the day I die.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. Underrated?
Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64's multiplayer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Finally, somebody else say.
The
First of all, I'm
multiplayer-
just saying, I'm going to wax both of y'all in
Man,
that.
shut up.
So the
Shut up,
multiplayer,
right
Fuck you up. Complain with
the
me.
multiplayer was super cool. The fact that like Dixie Kong, right,
Yep.
with her
Yep.
hair,
Mhm.
right. Every character did something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? That was super cool about it. A couple of fun facts about it, just real quick. Donkey Kong was originally pitched to be a boxing game.
Yep.
Yes, it was.
Originally, it wasn't supposed to be the 3D platformer, but at the time, because of how between Ocarina and everything else that was going on, and the fact that they were eating that shit up so much,
So much.
so much, they were like, bro, we might as well just go with it. Another fun fact, it's on like Donkey Kong, it's actually trademarked. Yeah, that slogan,
Yep.
on like
Yep.
Donkey Kong,
Really?
that is a trademark.
Get the fuck out.
I did not know that. I thought that was really fucking weird because I feel like I've heard like Dwayne the Rock Johnson say that like a million times. he has to pay royalties or some shit.
I didn't know that was trademark. That's crazy.
That was a trademark. And then so Donkey Kong originally started in 1981.
Okay.
Right? That Donkey Kong from 1981 has actually been confirmed to be Cranky Kong from
Yep.
Donkey Kong 64.
Yes, it has. I remember hearing about that.
Which I thought was super, super cool. But what made Donkey Kong revolutionary for me personally was the collectibles. So Donkey Kong Country was one of the very first games to introduce collectible items and exclusive shit, which made the game seem longer. Because, yeah, you could speed run through the levels.
Right.
You could speed run through the levels. You and your homies could beat the game within a day.
Yeah.
Right? But you want all that extra shit and all the extra clips and all that. You better go back and get you that Kong, nigga.
Yep.
You better go
Yeah.
back and search. That
I rem-
led the way toward like Resident Evil's little bobbleheads and all that. That, in my opinion, paved the way for future games to be like, all right, what if we just snip these little things in here so that way it forces them to play the game longer, makes the game seem longer.
Because they're looking for stuff.
Right,
Right.
because they're looking for shit. And that, in my opinion, is what made Donkey Kong 64 so revolutionary for its time. I mean, I can't not talk about its soundtrack. The soundtrack was a fucking banger.
Oh yeah.
It'd be an absolute injustice
All
not
of
to
them
bring
are.
that up.
All of them.
Yeah.
I
That's one of them.
haven't played a single Donkey Kong game
that didn't have a slap soundtrack. Like it's just Donkey Kong and Nintendo's just Nintendo, Bandai, and Namco in the '90s. Those were the big dick niggas in the game.
Yeah.
like those niggas were not to be
Agreed.
fucked with.
Agreed.
Those three people were an absolute fucking mess. That's got to be my number 3. Number 2, Quake, 1996.
Yes. Good
So-
old Quake.
so-
I love that.
So Quake is one of those argumentative games that's been considered to be it is on a lot of, you go on Reddit anywhere, a lot of people will consider Quake to be one of the best games ever made. So it's up there in the conversation, in my opinion. I feel like it's up there compared to most other earlier games. Right? Quake was known for its multiplayer. Multiplayer at that time. So Quake originally, it was a first-person shooter.
For those of y'all that know, that
Yeah.
Quake multiplayer.
Quake, if you don't know what Quake is, take HP Lovecraft and Maze Runner and make a 3D game out of it.
And kind of put a little Doom mechanics into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yep.
with a hint of Doom. Yeah.
A little bit
So
of a hint of doom.
so Quake is the first of its series and then birthed 10 other games after it, Doom being one of them.
Yo.
So it first came out on MS-DOS, Microsoft, and Linux back in '96. For those of y'all niggas who are super young, that's PC shit. All right,
Yep.
y'all ain't. That's old AOL dial-up. You have to get the Chex Mix with your parents to get that free 45 minutes of AOL. You know what I'm saying?
That's the I'm about to upload something. Let me go ahead and just upload it at night real quick when I go to sleep, so it'll be done in the morning.
It came out for Mac and Sega Saturn in '97. Then it came out for the 64 in '98.
I did not.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I did not know it
Yeah.
came out for the 64.
It was developed by ID Software and published by GT Interactive. And like we said earlier, it was the birth of Doom. Quake is revolutionary in my mind because Quake was the birth of speedrunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%. A
So-
lot more speedrunners came about.
Once Quake happened, the team after Quake, actually the development team underneath Quake, once it was produced, even though it did exceptionally well, they all disbanded, including the co-founder of Quake. It was remastered later, right? However, one of the developers for Quake wound up making a channel called Quake Clips, I think it
Yeah.
was called, way back in the day, and it was people doing Quake runs as fast as they could. And with the multiplayer and everything else that they had online, what they were doing was they were clipping this and they were putting it up on Quake Clips, and that was the beginning of speedrunning. Is people would try to continually do faster than the next guy before them, and that, in my opinion, I think that's huge. I think that's a huge revolutionary thing, because back in the day, back in the '90s, man, it was you and whoever you were next to.
You
That was
just
know what I'm
facts.
saying?
You just reminded me of something. This is an honorable mention for the 80s. Tetris.
Oh yeah,
100 big revolutionary game.
Not like Tetris didn't revolutionize anything in the gaming world, like mechanic or gameplay wise, other than birth a bunch of stuff like the Bejeweled and stuff like that. That style
Right.
of game.
okay.
But what it did was there were literal Tetris competitions. It literally is considered one of the first esports
Yep.
Yeah.
because they had whole ass tournaments of
Tournaments.
Tetris players.
Close-
And
Closing
niggas
down
was
malls
getting
and
it
shit.
busy in Tetris, boy.
Yeah.
I could not. I can never hang. I can never hang in Tetris.
It's also as
Not like how they did back in the day, bro.
yeah, oh yeah, not like I'm a good Tetris player, but dog,
Yeah.
not
Not that good.
Yeah, I ain't that good.
Them niggas a different animal. I swear to God, they are.
And then my number one full revolutionary game's gotta be Mega Man X. 1993.
Mega Man X.
1993.
Mega Man.
Mega
That
Man
game
X.
changed the world.
So Mega Man X, it was originally supposed to be called Super Rocket Man. Thank God they didn't do that.
Thank God they didn't do
Yes.
that dumb shit.
Thank God they didn't do that. But the premise of it, right, starts out 21XX. Okay, guy by the name Dr. Kane, he discovers a robot by the name of X. X was created by Dr. Light. Now, X was like the magnum opus of Dr. Light's creations. He was the creme de la, he was, as Macho Man Randy Savage would say, the cream of the crop. He was the top of the top, right? He was the first robot with free will, and he was able to evolve as humans do. So when Dr. Light made him, it was like he originally had Darwin's thing. Like he wanted this robot to pretty much evolve at the same level, you know, with knowledge and time and all that shit. He wanted it to be artificially intelligent, right? X's design, though, was also the base program for Reploids, which Reploids are pretty much the same exact thing. They're robots. However, they're on that iRobot tip. So like most robots in the Mega Man X universe, right? They have the same function. Like they can't be hurting humans. They can't bring harm to them. Reploids do not have that function. Reploids have the function where they can harm humans.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Right. So with all these Reploids, you wind up having a whole bunch of like rebel fractions, right? One of them, the one that you fuck with in Mega Man X, is called the Mavericks, right? X fights for the Maverick Hunters. The leader of the Magma Hunters being a guy by the name of Sigma. Well, one day, Sigma, I guess, smoked some pack that was a little too strong, and Sigma went AWOL, and he went to the Mavericks. And he started the Maverick War. So the game Mega Man X is you pretty much in the middle of the Maverick War.
Man, I done forgot so much.
Yeah.
Mega
Wow.
Man lore.
Yeah, no,
I
you
done
just
forgot
you
so
just made
much
me
shit.
remember
Yeah.
so much
Mega
shit.
Man, yeah,
bro.
Mega Man X is the start
The
of
Mega Man lore is deep.
Yeah, no,
For
it is.
real.
It's super deep. So one of the characters from Mega, this is just another small fact. One of the Mega Man characters, Vile, right, was originally designed. Ray, you'll probably fuck with this. He was originally designed after Boba Fett.
Oh,
From
What?
the original Star Wars, right? But
I can see it.
He
I
was,
can see it.
He was originally called Vava, right? His original name was Vava. Now the creators behind him said that their original thought was he was supposed to represent a character by the name of Baba from the 1979 Mad Max film. But the color scheme he had at that time was purple and green, which was way too close resemblance to Boba Fett.
Right.
And the fact that his name was Vava, they were like, nah, Boba Fett, no, we're not going to do this. So they made them change the color scheme to purple and gold, and they changed his name from Vava to Vile.
Okay.
Which
I
I
like
thought.
that.
And another fun fact is that the homing tornado, that is one of the perks that you get in
Right.
Mega Man X.
Such a good perk.
It was actually misspelled in the original Mega Man X.
Oh.
It was actually spelled Horming Tornado, and it wasn't changed until Mega Man Hunter X.
Wow, that's wild. That's wild. Haha. Y'all some goofies.
It was some wild shit, but Mega Man X is revolutionary in my opinion for its introduction level.
Yeah.
So I did a whole fucking report on this. Shout out Professor Demissen up at LCC. You are fucking awesome. I did a whole report on this. So when you first log in to the Mega Man intro, right? Like when you first log in, just says 1 player, 2 player, right? Click the screen, you go to it. You start out on this super long runway, and you can see a little bar. Now, the way the screen is set, it is projected for you to go forward. You only have one range of motion. It's forward, right? So you're running. And out of nowhere, you see this little robot rolling down at you, right? So most people, young Bryce is like, oh, fuck, I got to run away. So I run back the way I just came, and I hit the wall, and the robot hit me. And I was like, shit. All right, well, that robot's going to keep coming. So I got to find a way around it, right? And young Brycey boy, he don't know jack shit, right? So I see the robot's coming at me again, and I just start spamming buttons. And Mega Man jumps. And I'm like, oh shit, how'd I do that? And I found out, okay, the A button is how you jump. And I'm like, okay, so some enemies I have to jump over. Got it. And then here comes this
long, tall, lanky motherfucker. And I'm like, oh shit. And he's walking super, super slow. And his head's like really, really high. So I tried jumping and I'm like, all right, well, I can't jump on his head. I can't jump over him. So I just start spamming buttons again. And I press B. And now I'm using my blaster. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, I'll just point my blaster and I'll just point my blaster and shoot him. Well, the blaster goes through his legs. So I'm like, huh. All right, what happens if I jump and I blast at the same time? So I jump, blast. Guy gets through. I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so now young Bricey boy understands that there are certain enemies that have to be hit in certain weak spots. And I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm on this shit, right? And then I'm running, and the whole fucking bridge that I'm on fucking collapses. And I'm like, damn, dude, I can only jump once. So I run over to the wall because the design of the stage is to direct you toward the wall, right? So you run toward the wall, and you're just sitting there like, well, fuck, there ain't no steps, right? So what else can you do? You jump, right? So you jump on the side of the wall. But as you jump, for the first time in Mega Man, you notice when you jump on the wall, Mega Man grabs the wall and he slides.
Yep.
And you're just like, huh, okay, well, what happens if I jump again while he's doing that? And now you can double jump
He's
walls.
scaling the wall.
That first level in Mega Man taught you everything based from movement and mechanics in the first 30 minutes. In the first 30 minutes. And here's the thing. A lot of games nowadays, and it pisses off a lot of gamers because a lot of games now, you can't go more than 5 feet. You'll be walking and you'll see something that you haven't seen, and the game will stop all forward progression and say, hey, buddy, listen, you see that big thing up there? You see that? That'll hurt you. No shit. Let me fucking explore. Quit holding my hand like I'm a fucking child. The point of the game is to explore and to be immersed in the world. So Mega Man didn't hold your hand. Mega Man, not even Mega Man X. Most Mega Man games in general had a really good time not holding someone's hand. Like the Wrecking Ball throwers from the old Mega Mans, from Mega Man 1 and 2.
I remember, they was really brutal.
Yeah, so Mega Man 1 and 2, the ball throwing robots, right? Every level you went to and you would see those things, right? They would literally be positioned to where the only way you could get hit is if you deliberately put yourself in their way. Because they would sit there, fling the ball for a while, and then throw it. And they would be left off in the middle of nowhere. So you would purposely have to put yourself in the way.
Right.
The game did not hold your hand. And I honestly think that was what makes it so revolutionary, in my opinion, is because now if I want to play like Batman Arkham City, you know what I'm saying? God forbid if I want to turn off some fucking Steam vents, I can't take 5 steps without something stopping me, telling me what to do. Like, dude, I'm a person. My brain works.
I will figure it out.
I'll figure it the fuck out. You
Like,
don't
come
have to
on
stop
now.
all forward motion for me.
Not at all.
And
Personally, I think that's why I like Elden Ring so much.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
just about to say that's the reason why
Yes.
a lot of people love the Dark Souls trilogy for what it is, because it doesn't hold your hand.
Because it's
whatsoever.
trial by fire.
Trial by fire.
They're like, all right, you're in this world. Here you go. Have fun.
Yeah, have
Right.
fun. Have fun.
But that's
Good
what
luck.
that's what made Mega Man X so revolutionary for me, in my opinion, is that even though it didn't throw you to the wolves, because let's be honest here, it's Mega Man.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Mega Man. All right, you ain't gonna get one shot at a Mega Man. However, even though it threw you to the wolves, it didn't have to stop all forward motion to explain to you. You could still have fun and figure the game out at the same time. There was no stop in progression. Where nowadays, that's all. Like, you can't even play Call of Duty without them doing some dumb shit. Like,
that
literally, like
that
the
first Call of
intro-
Duty mission.
Well, not so like the intro for like Black Ops 2 when you're in the bar and niggas just start fucking
Yep.
shooting at you, and it just says on the top, it pauses the oh shit, it pauses the screen. I'm sorry, it pauses the
good.
screen and it says shoot the enemies. No shit. You mean the guy shooting back at me? No, I
Come
thought I
on
was
now,
gonna.
no
I
shit.
thought I was just gonna put my fucking hands up. No shit, dude. I'm smart enough to grasp that.
Which I think it was either Ghost or Infinite Warfare. The intro mission, like, would actually like do like the slow motion. Here
Infinite
goes
Warfare.
Here goes the slow motion. Here goes the bubble screen. Here's how you
Yeah.
do this. Here's how you do that.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up here like, dog.
If you don't get this shit the fuck out of my
y'all
face.
been playing. Y'all been releasing these games for over a decade every year.
Stop it.
you do not need this tutorial in here.
Like, come on
This
now,
bad,
stop, put it away.
You know who also picked up on that? Honorable mention since you brought that out. Pokemon.
Yeah,
They picked
from
up
the
on it.
time because from the time Pokemon started, from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, the moment you got into Viridian City, you would talk to an old man, and whether you told him you knew how to catch or not, he would stop all forward progression for a solid. And back in Blue, Red, and Yellow, you couldn't speed up text. That shit was crystal slow, slow as a motherfucker. So you would have to sit there for 5 minutes and be explained this, and they didn't change it until Gen 3 when they remade Red and Green or Red and Blue with Fire Red and Leaf Green. When you went to him and asked him, when you went to Viridian City and Fire Red and Leaf Green, he would ask you, do you know how to catch Pokemon? If you told him yeah, he'd be like, cool, take this just in case. And he would give you the TV he was going to give you anyways. I thought that was the best improvement ever.
Yes.
Best
I was
thing.
like, thank God they changed that. Because I remember, dude,
People
for
was
like
tired of watching it.
Dude, I remember
Fuck,
playing
it was
Ruby and
bad.
Sapphire and having a nigga tell me in the forest, you know how to catch, or fucking Wally, fucking, yeah, you want to go teach fucking my kid how to catch Pokemon, Wally? I'm like, dude, I am literally a 2-time Pokemon champ.
Stop
I
it.
don't need this fucking
Like, I don't
16-year-old
need this.
kid teaching me how to catch a fucking level 5 Zigzagoon. No.
I agree. You got any other games in the 90s you remember? Any honorable mentions?
I gotta bring up Conkers.
Conquer.
I gotta bring up
Bad Fur
Conker's
Day.
Bad Fur Day. Revolutionary, just because we'll never see a game like that
Never
ever
will.
again.
Never again.
Ever again. My mother brought me that game, not looking at what it was rated. She literally just saw the box cover and she thought it was cute, and she got it for me.
Nice.
Right? And it wasn't until I was fucking with that flower, the big tittied flower. It wasn't until I got to her that my mom realized that this game just was not for me, apparently. I thought it was for me, but my mother decided otherwise.
She's like, hell no,
She
what the
was like,
fuck?
Fuck nah. But that's just revolutionary in the fact of, like, it was Conkers. Like, I mean, Conkers broke so many walls that early on. Like, it was
Yeah.
literally... Conkers was a stretch,
Conquer broke a lot.
for sure.
Conkers proved there was a market for those like for
Raunch.
that
Yeah,
for those
for
real
raunch.
raunchy games.
Yeah.
And I'm glad because I honestly don't think we would have gotten Saints Row without
Nope.
Conkers.
Nope.
I'm not going to bring up an honorable mention, but I am going to ask a question. What happened, Bondi? What happened to y'all? Y'all niggas used to be so good. Y'all niggas had Banjo. Y'all niggas had Conkers. And then y'all niggas came out on the 360, and y'all niggas ain't been right since.
Hey, wait, hell no. That in the longest.
But yeah, no, my man Snorlax over here kicking it. But no, early 2000s is what I'm gonna be talking about, and that was a special decade. Mainly, that was my first headlong experience into gaming and how deep it went. And in my personal opinion, that's when Sims exploded.
That's true.
Sims came out in the 90s, but it exploded in the early 2000s.
What?
And hold up, this is an honorable mention.
I got you.
This is an honorable mention.
No, I hear you.
Sims revolutionized gaming.
Please
Hey,
explain that.
A life simulator that became as popular as it is.
That's what I'm saying, though. I
The
still
tech-
don't get the popularity
I
behind
get it.
it.
I get it 100%.
I was like, you don't have to get it. Just know the technology that went in to creating the original Sims and like Sims 2.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we don't see too many Sims clones. It's not easy to replicate.
Okay.
And then they threw on building. And the way building in Sims 3 was so revolutionary that architects would rebuild their houses, and like real estate agents would rebuild houses they're selling in Sims 3 and
Yes,
in
they
Sims
sure
they do
would.
it in Sims 4 now
Yep.
too. They'll build their houses there and they will literally show off people their houses online. 'Cause
Yeah.
it is that accurate. So while Sims, like the Sims as a concept, isn't revolutionary,
Yeah.
the technology in it is.
Behind it. I was about to say, because if that's the case, I would then say that Minecraft is more revolutionary on the scale of world building.
Minecraft, I'm gonna definitely throw that in there as an honorable mention,
Right.
That's fair.
because while I don't play Minecraft,
Yeah.
it fully mastered, and I do mean fully mastered, fun gameplay,
I agree.
along
100%.
with infinite replayability.
Can I touch on that?
Yeah,
I feel like Minecraft evolutionized gaming with no objective.
yes,
Because the original Minecraft, there was no object. And South Park hits on that.
yes,
They have a South Park episode where like the parents are watching like revenge porn and shit, or like homicide,
Right.
like sex homicide shit on Discovery Channel, and the kids lock up the TV so the adults wind up learning Minecraft because the password is how you tame a horse in Minecraft, right? And the one little British kid literally tells Randy and them, he was like, "There's no objective. You're not doing something. You're just building shit." Like literally, he's explaining to Randy. He was just like, "All right, how do you get wood?" And he's like, "By what? By I don't know." The kid's like, "Come on, nigga! Like, how do you get wood?" And he's like, "Breaking trees." And he's like, "Right. You get the wood to build a box. You get more wood to use the box to build a cabin." Like, it's so linear. It's so basic. And it's like, I remember when I bought Minecraft, right? Just to play with my homies. Dude, I would hop on and I made like a little hut, just like a little hut. And I
Right.
started like mining for coal. 1 hour turned into like 8.
yep.
Yup.
That is exactly how
I
that goes.
turned
easy.
my brain between the music in that game, and the vibe and the atmosphere.
Yep.
I turned my brain completely
Brain
off.
got turned all the way off, didn't
completely
it?
off. The next day, I was YouTubing ways to harvest crops.
And I think that's what makes Minecraft very revolutionary. Is again, nothing in the game is like on a technical aspect revolutionary.
Right.
It's
They
all
didn't get technical with it until they started adding like you can like enhance and upgrade
Yeah.
your weapons. But like
like,
back in the early day, dude, it
as
was
an overall game concept. That's revolutionary.
yeah.
Agreed.
I think Minecraft was like the first game where it was like turn your brain off, do whatever you want. There is no objective,
fun.
buddy. Yeah, you don't have to answer nobody, man. You're in a world by yourself where no one understands you, and you literally have the creative power of a god. It is your world. Like that's why Minecraft is the 2000s, right?
Oh yeah, 2007. I want to say.
Yeah, I was about to say Minecraft definitely had to be brought up.
But I'm going to go with my third honorable mention. It is my favorite on the list. But it is
you got 3 honorable mentions.
no, not honorable. This is my number 3.
Okay,
Here you
number
go,
3.
right.
This is my number 3. And while it is my favorite out of all of them, in the scale of gaming, it didn't revolutionize as hard as the other two.
Okay.
And that is, y'all better not get on me about this. Star Wars: The Old Republic.
No, I actually
That's
agree
fair.
with you.
I thought you were gonna put that like
No, that's
super
valid.
high up there, and I was gonna get on you if you put it like really
No.
high up there. I was about to be like, in my opinion, dog. I get it's a nostalgia thing. I get you're a Star Wars fan. I get it, but I think that's a little biased.
I'm surprised you didn't do the honorable mention for the Nintendo 64 Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was good. I didn't really care for it. I didn't
That's
really
fair.
care for it.
That's big fair. That's big
It was
fair.
like I said, I liked it.
It
I
was
had-
mid.
It
I
was
had
very
fun
mid.
with it,
That's why I
but
said it was honorable mention.
it didn't do anything different.
No, not
It
at
didn't-
all. Not
like,
at
it
all.
didn't do anything like. The game was good, and as a Star Wars game, I had fun with it. I won't say that it's not, but when we're talking revolutionary games,
I said, if anything,
game
what
did
you
not-
said is an upgrade version of it.
yeah, that game that's I don't even remember what it was called, but yeah, no, that game did absolutely nothing for like gaming. Revolutionary speaking, it was a good game. I had fun with it. That IG88 fucking boss battle on the train. Fuck that mission. Hate that. I never want to do that shit again. But
Never again.
it was a good game. But that Star Wars: The Old Republic, I want to say it was revolutionary for the time period, because people didn't think that a well executed RPG could do well, even if it had a popular IP stitched onto it. And then
There was a lot of doubt in the air with that.
there was a lot of
a
doubt.
lot of
about
doubt
it.
in the air.
And what a lot of people don't realize about Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, I might be talking out of my ass about this, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Therefore, the amount of weapons, fighting styles, and approaches to combat you get in Old Republic, there really isn't another game in the early 2000s that does that.
did that.
They was very, very versatile with the combats and the type of styles. Very versatile. I remember that
Their
very
combat
well.
was basically you had your basic attack, heavy attacks, and then you had your force powers or whatever tree you went down.
Right.
You had two different force powers. You had a melee branch. You had a my bad. When I say you had two different force, you had like light and dark side.
Right.
Then you had force ability, light side force abilities, dark side force abilities. Then you had a lightsaber combat feature with like just actual like light swords and double sabers.
So it helped you be able to customize
Yeah.
customize the way you want to go
Yeah.
at the game,
Then-
but it was evened out with the level of variety.
Then you had blasters, and then you had traps. And
All that I do remember, because
Yeah.
this dude Keith that was in my computer programming class, he talked about that game, and that was the one thing he talked about, was because he made the comment about how he felt. His essay was about how he felt that the combat system in games have been failing, and it's because of updates.
Yeah,
it's
they-
because
a
it's
lot
because
of-
it's because you can update so fast. It's easier just to push out a game, collect the money, and then update as the game's out and see what the problems
I'll be
are.
honest with you guys. I'm fairly certain that's why Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are so popular, is because you can approach combat so crazy.
Yep, but they took their
Well,
time with it.
I'll give you this. I'll give Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild that. While I don't really care for the game, for the combat system,
Understandable, very understandable.
I
Still the same thing.
appreciate the freedom you get in it.
I gotta say something. Tone, what did you just say?
I said understandable. They both still the same thing.
So I feel like no, it was before that. You said that. I feel like they were. And this is I'm probably 100% wrong, but I feel like Nintendo didn't actually, like, you know how, like you were saying in like Breath of the Wild and everything, the combat is super loose, right?
I feel like that wasn't intentional.
I think it wasn't intentional, and
Yeah.
people found out, and people loved it so much, and they were like,
Yeah,
let's do that again.
Oh,
I
definitely.
feel like
They
I
were
feel
like, hey
that wasn't
guys,
intentional.
they were like, hey guys, no restrictions on combat, and they were like,
Oh.
but sir, we messed up last time. Listen to me, you guys did great. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
In fact,
You guys
enhance it.
Yeah, you guys did so good. I want you to do it more.
Every piece of equipment, piece of item that you get from a monster, put some type of crazy, put a stat on it.
I
Make
want
it do
a player.
something.
Oh, yeah.
I want a player to be able to crucify anything and everything on that map. I
wanna
want
turn-
Napalm's
everything.
drawn
That's what I was gonna say. I want you to be able to turn Link
into
Rambo.
Rambo. Yeah.
This
okay.
is- I just want you to turn into Rambo.
I want this man to be the fiercest non-vet on the planet.
I want him to turn into an absolute terrorist. Because them
Absolute terror.
what are they? What are those little fucking pig things you fight a lot?
Though they start with the fuck. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever those things are.
Yeah, I be seeing niggas
I
tear
mean,
they
dog,
tear them fucking things apart.
Link is the
That
enemy
nigga's
most
a KKK.
wanted. Yeah, he's
he the KKK of those things. Flat out, he be nigga be lynch mobbing those things, dog.
for real.
Flat out.
Dog. But
Big ass whooping.
for at that time of the game,
He's dying.
He's dying. It's that pressure.
at that time, the
Can't
only,
take it. Too much for him. It's okay. Let the vet take it off you.
Oh, fuck it. Fuck y'all. But no, at that time, the only games that were approaching combat, even remotely close to that, were like big MMOs.
Oh yeah, like your
And-
Final Fantasies and
No, not even Final Fantasy was doing all that.
Hey, Final Fantasy was doing all that.
They would lock you into a weapon.
oh.
yeah.
I'm sorry, I got way off.
You're all
yeah,
good. Final Fantasy started to later on, but I'm talking like 2003,
yeah.
because that's when
Yeah,
Old
that
Republic
really
came
was
out.
one of the first. Yeah, Old
It was one of the
Republic
first
really
games
was
that
the
like
first one. Yeah,
gave you multiple different feeling options
Right.
to approach combat. Like you got to remember, even in like at this game, FPSs were starting to pop off.
Yep.
yeah.
100% agreed.
FPSs, it's the same combat the whole time, just your guns act a little different.
I could challenge that though.
It's a little challenging.
You could say that original customizations of weapons and shit could have started way back when with
It
Mega
did.
Man.
It did. Like it. Like
'Cause
this
Mega
isn't.
Man, you had to change his blasters up to get past certain bosses, and when you
Yeah.
would defeat bosses, you get up.
There was definitely
Right.
like Knights of the Old Republic was like a culmination of it. And I think the way they allowed you to approach combat so freely is what helped the game so
It
much.
helped keep everything together.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't tried to like fully remake it, because the amount of effort you have to do to get that again.
That perfect flow.
Yeah, to get
Man,
that.
to
Well,
get
no, its
that-
flow is atrocious. Like it's you click a button.
I mean, within the combat system.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the combat system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean within the combat system.
For its time, it's pretty good.
Especially nowadays, dude, because you got so many other games,
Mm-hmm.
so many other games to compete against you, and they're updating all the time. So-
Non-stop.
So if you go in with that initial promise, you know that it's going to be diversified to the point to where it won't need updates. That's almost an impossible task.
Now, my number 2. I already brought up FPSs were getting real popular around this time.
Mm-hmm.
What was FPSs known for around this time?
Tom,
Mm-hmm.
you've been quiet. You answer the question.
You done?
That's it. Keep going. I want to see what you say.
So, it was multiplayer.
Yeah.
That is what kept FPSs alive. The LAN parties, the competitive scene, speed running the Quake series,
Yeah.
all the Quake clones. That is what helped keep it alive. And then, I'm pretty sure right around 2003, that's when you had Call of Duty start up.
I just want you to know. I'm waiting.
For what?
If he don't say what I think he said, that's either 2 games he's going to say.
Yep, I'm building up to
That's
a
either
very
2
specific
games that
game.
you're going to say, and I know
And-
those 2 very well.
Battlefield was kicking off at this time.
Yeah.
I think this was right when Medal of Honor started transitioning into Call of Duty, and they're all multiplayer focused. Then we got Halo.
Yes. Yes, I knew. I was like, yeah, this is the builder for Halo.
Halo.
Good old Halo. Yes.
Yup. Prove you can
Niggas
do
run
story.
12 niggas running up in the boys' bathroom.
Gave us such a beautiful story, man.
Shout out Master Chief.
Yep.
Fun fact. That was like 5% of the reason why I joined the Navy is because the
Yeah?
E9 enlisted rank is Master Chief.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like Master Chief Myers. Fuck, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that sounds good. Never made it. Never made it.
But
Shout out
yeah,
all the
no,
good Master Chiefs out there.
Halo revolutionized the gaming industry because it's like, oh, we don't just have to churn out shitty FPS multiplayer games. We can actually make a good video game that's FPS focused.
Yep.
Gave us the Gears of War series.
Yep.
Coded. If y'all haven't played the first 3 games, y'all should play the first 3 games.
Immediately, first 3.
So good they released it with the drop of the Xbox 360.
Yep. And on top of it, I fucked with Halo's multiplayer more than Call of Duty. I was a
I
Halo
100%
head.
agree. I was too.
Halo's multiplayer was better.
100% agree with
Way
that.
better.
They hit the mark with how good Halo's multiplayer was. With one, them shotguns were crazy.
Them, you mean that jump shotgun action?
Yep, no, yeah, the
Yep.
shotguns were wild. If you weren't running a shotgun on you were trash. And the amount of fear in your soul.
If a nigga pick up that fucking sword.
Yep, when you hear them niggas,
Yeah, you hear that?
when you hear that, shh, you're like, oh, you just start running, throwing grenades and running.
You never look back.
Ever.
look back,
Never
you
ever
die.
look back.
Yep. You look up and hope you can throw that fucking grenade and ricochet that bitch just the right way.
Dog, the bounce on the grenade from like trying to bounce on walls, perfection. Just trying to get scopes with because there was a sticky grenade, wasn't there?
Yep,
Yeah.
the blue
You could
sticky one.
bounce- you could
Scoping people with the
You could
sticky
bounce them
grenade.
grenades, bro, like they were them fucking hand slap balls,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
Fucking dink dink. Fucking zip over.
Them things were terrifying,
My
and
God, was so good.
that's some of my fondest memories.
early Halo.
Yeah, early Halo.
I like the
As soon as they started,
I like the old Halo, not that new Halo.
Not
New
the new
Halo's a bit
Halo.
questionable. Infinite, y'all dropped the ball. ODST, I don't know.
Shout out Flash Goods because they did
Yep.
that.
Yeah,
That
they
little-
yeah.
They did that little funny thing for Halo Infinite. And fucking, they crucified that nigga, bro. They crucified that nigga, bro. I was laughing my ass off.
Oh, also, another reason why Halo was so revolutionary, the general consensus at the time for FPSs was that you couldn't make a good story as a FPS because of the way the game was rendered. At that time, doing cutscenes were very hard because of the free floating camera and
Hmm.
all of the whole shebang with the graphics quality. It just cutscenes were very rough in FPS games. If y'all don't remember,
They was. They really was.
Y'all ain't gonna tell me Halo's cutscenes were rough.
It was pretty rough. Pretty rough.
They
out
were
there.
one of the first ones to start implementing, like, I don't want to say CGI, but like just in-game engine like footage, and they
in-game
like
engine
really
footage.
perfected it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say they perfected it. They did the best they could too.
And like I said, at that time, FPS
For what
For
they
the
had,
time,
yeah.
For the time and what they had, bro, they knocked it out of the park.
yeah,
They did
FPSs
a
were
great,
considered-
good ass job
we
with
just
that.
wouldn't be able to do anything good, and
Right.
they figured out a way. That's all I'm gonna really talk about Halo, to be honest, because it was good.
Yeah. It was. No, Halo was.
It turned the corner.
Halo is a staple.
It was.
Big staple. I was happy. I
But-
knew he was leading up to it.
There's one thing. This next game,
Is this number one?
yeah, this is number one. This
Big
changed
Daddy.
the
Big
landscape.
Daddy. Look at him.
This game changed the landscape for video gaming. And that is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Yes, it did. I 100% agree with
For
you.
those of y'all that don't know,
100% agree with
Some
you.
The
people-
level of joy.
some people consider that game the first truly open sandbox game. And they knocked that bitch out the
Perfect.
park.
I'm talking about a home run out the
Perfect.
park.
Now, some of y'all smart people might think, what about Vice City? 'Cause
Was
I'm
good.
pretty sure Vice City came out before San Andreas.
Right.
But there was a glaring problem in Vice City. And that was the swimming. Could not swim, so the whole map was not truly open.
Yep. Not at
They
all.
fixed that in San Andreas.
Yep.
And the shit you could explore
And discover and do.
there was so much stuff to do in that game. My dad played that game. He would get to the point where you were doing the gang warfare
Yeah.
and would just stay there for weeks. Just people invading his territory, him going to get just that alone. He would play that mode. It was a little mini game mode. As long as you didn't pass the next mission, you were good.
Yep.
Damn.
Just like that. He was good.
And that game was massive
Yeah.
for the time being. Once you beat the game and could go to all the cities,
Yeah.
just trying to circle that map would take you like 10 minutes. And just drive a car around the map would take you like 10 minutes. And in the early 2000s,
Hop on that freeway.
that is massive.
Yeah.
Big, massive. Big, massive.
At that time, the only
At that time, the only game remotely close was Godfather on
Yeah.
the Xbox.
Yep.
That was
It was-
the only thing remotely close.
it was
And
the
I
only
remember
thing
that's why I
remotely
fucked
close.
with Godfather.
And like the closest games you got are your single player RPG games,
Right.
but they were all instance based. This was you don't have to worry about instant based. You just plop down in this world, and as you progress the story, you unlock more worlds, but you never hit a load screen.
Can I bring something up if we're going to talk about open worlds? It's because I brought up Metal Gear Solid earlier
Right.
when I was talking about the 90s. I am so happy because Metal Gear Solid was just basic like platform movement for a long time,
Yep.
right?
And
And then it
three.
got and then got into the 3Ds, but it didn't really give you a whole lot of world movement.
Yes.
No.
There was a lot of CQC, a lot of close quarter combat type shit, right?
Which is why they are redoing the first one.
So, yeah. So when they came out with Metal Gear 5, though, Phantom Pain,
Yeah. Yeah.
That
yeah, yeah.
game.
and that was when Ubisoft got their hand on it. And the moment because when I heard there was another because I got Metal Gear 4, and when I found out that it was just 3 really tiny maps, like really tiny maps, like what a small map in Metal Gear 4 would be like one compound in the gigantic map that is the 3 gigantic maps that is Metal Gear 5.
Right.
Right?
Metal Gear 5 was
So
massive.
so when
Crazy
I got
massive.
Metal Gear 5 and they were like, "Okay, you're in Afghanistan." And then they were like, "Okay, now you're in fucking now you're in Africa. All right, now you're in Nam." I'm like, "Bro, dude, it took me like a whole 98 hours just to like actually get the whole map of Afghanistan. I didn't hit every outpost. It took me like 100 some hours." Like that was great to collect all the cassettes and all that shit
That's
just
crazy.
in Afghanistan. It took me 100 and some hours because I didn't YouTube none of it. I was like, fuck it, I want to explore it, like,
Right.
Because you can collect plants, fucking find niggas for your ship, and that's another thing too, bro. Metal Gear 5 opened up multiplayer shit.
Yep.
That shit, bro. I was an asshole. An absolute asshole, bro. I was getting niggas in intel and niggas that could kill. That was my only 2 things, bro.
He said that's the only
I
thing.
was an absolute pirate, dog. I would just take niggas' loot.
And I don't blame you.
Not at all. Not one bit.
Another game I want to throw in here, and this is a gimme.
Yeah,
World of Warcraft.
yeah.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, because it is what popularized MMORPG, online MMORPGs, and yeah,
See,
I just
Yeah, I give you
so
that
see,
one.
I never
100%.
played WoW.
Neither did I.
I played RuneScape.
Good old RuneScape. I played both, but I
And-
loved RuneScape more.
Shout-
RuneScape was fun.
Shout out my nigga Trevor. Shout out my nigga Trevor. Trevor still has his RuneScape account.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
He
do
showed
too.
me his shit, bro. He's maxed out. I was like, yo, that's so sweet.
I do too. I
was
maxed
like,
out Ranger.
Bro, I told him, I was like, bro, imagine how much that account is worth.
So
He should look into selling it.
Yeah.
fun fact with
You can
my
make some
account. I'm not rich anymore because there's people that got richer before me, after me. But there was like a little cheat thing that was going on around the game. I just happened to figure it out. It was like this giant area in one of the off branch of one of the town areas. So you go down this little dungeon area, you see these giants. They drop these certain type of bones, and I had maxed out my luck. And if you're a ranger, you're able to acquire it faster. And they sold extremely high on the market. My account was rich as fuck. Rich as fucking gold. Felt great.
And now they probably people look at it and be like,
Damn.
you ain't got 2 more zeros behind that number?
You know, for real.
What?
For real, I was rich as fuck in that game when I was young, man.
Yeah, but yeah, no, World of
All them runes.
World of Warcraft. I want to say it revolutionized gaming because it proved the online scene was there.
Oh yeah.
Like, most people didn't realize, like, you probably have to champion World of Warcraft for introducing online gaming. Because before then, it really wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
That wasn't a thing.
It wasn't a
Right.
thing, but honestly, though, a lot of niggas just honestly didn't know or couldn't afford it. Because think about
That
it
is
like
fair.
this. Right, back
That was
in
a
the-
sign. That was a sign of wealth.
Right, back in the
growing
early
up.
2000s, right, if you had a PlayStation 2, just a PlayStation 2, whether it be a Fat Boy or a Slim, you know what I'm saying, before the PS3, if you had a PlayStation 2, you were running at most Medal of Honor, right?
Yeah.
You could
You're
play.
you're probably running
yeah,
a
some
Street
Tom
Fighter,
Clancy.
too.
Yeah, some Tom Clancy, some Street Fighter.
Probably had either a Madden or 2K.
Yeah, some
probably had NBA
ATV.
Live at that
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Right.
some ATV. A lot of niggas, bro. I remember I told my little brother, my little stepbrother, Austin. Shout out, Austin. Love you. I told Austin when he was a kid because I remember we were at my grandparents and I asked him if he brought his PlayStation and he was like, "Yeah, I got Medal of Honor and all this." I was like, "Bet," and I ran upstairs and I asked Pappy Chess, my grandpa. I asked him if I could hook up the PlayStation, and Austin looked at me and he was like, "To what?" And I was like, "The internet router." And he was just like, "You can do that?" And I was like, "Yeah, so we can play online." And he was just like, "You can play online?" And I was
Yep.
like, "Yeah, dude." And Austin, like my family, we didn't have internet. I learned that from my homie Christian. Shout out Christian. I learned that from him.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking, yeah, my little brother was like flabbergasted. But yeah, dude, when I was growing up, I didn't have internet. So I couldn't experience it unless I went somewhere that had it. But like,
Right.
Same. I didn't get internet until like almost completely through the 360's life. I didn't get it till the end when you had to get the little connector piece.
we didn't get internet until
GTA
08. We got internet in 08.
GTA 5 is when I got the internet.
We got internet in 08. My grandparents had internet in 03.
Mm.
Or no, my grandparents had internet back in 01. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they had AOL back in like 01, dude. Yeah, I remember going to my
Ah, good old
grandparents and they had
AOL.
fucking dial up, and then my grandma finally upgraded her computer.
Yep, I want
Yeah,
to say
they got
say it
internet.
was right around GTA 5 is when my household finally got internet. You were finally.
Oh
able
man,
to
that's
get it.
wild.
Man, GTA,
That is
dude,
wild.
Yo,
I can remember the day, and see, that's another thing. If we can talk, I was about to say, I don't
I
mean
was
to
say
go
that's
off
pretty much
topic.
all I got for the 2000s.
Yeah.
If
I
we
don't-
want to talk about the 2010s,
I wanna
GTA
talk about a
5
moment.
needs- Okay.
I want to talk about a moment because I feel like some of our audience probably doesn't understand. Kids today will not understand the feeling of like begging your parents, like
Yup.
mom, dad,
Mom,
please, me, so and so and so and so. We're gonna ride our bikes to GameStop. We're gonna get this game. We're gonna stay the night at so and so's house.
Right.
And God forbid if it's a school night.
Oh, if it's school night,
my
forget it.
great. Oh nah, dog. So literally, me and my homies, we planned it out. If there was a game coming out on a game night, we would all ask our teachers. We would all ask our teachers on a Monday. We'd all ask our teachers like first of the week if we
Right.
could get our interim reports printed out. So that way, if our grades were up, you feel me, we could use that as proof. Like, mom, look, I'm doing good in school right now. Like literally, I'd do that. I'd be like, mom, like I'm doing so good in school right now, and she'd be like, well, your report card comes out in 2 months, so why don't you just wait? And I would be like, nah, here, look, I had them print out all my, and back in the day, the interims would show you all your assignments
Hell
with
yeah.
all your grades. So I'd be
Hell yeah.
like, look at this shit, mom, like I'm killing it right now, please. And bruh, me and my niggas would run up to the fucking GameStop, and there'd be like 50 niggas there, 50 niggas that you've never fucking seen before, and everyone's there for the same fucking reason. And it's just
I was gonna say
the camaraderie, bro. That
those
my God.
midnight releases. If
Yeah.
you weren't there,
Oh,
That's
if
what
you
I'm
wasn't
saying,
there
bro.
for the
The
midnight
midnight
releases,
release
bruh.
for GTA 5, I remember. It's not this Ray, but his last name. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but I'm just gonna call him Ray.
Yeah.
Right. So, my nigga Ray, this nigga, bro, when he got GTA 5, he told me, Tim, and
that was the upperclassmen, right? When we were in high school, right?
nah. Oh no, he graduated with me.
Yeah, 'cause
his
you were a grade or two ahead of us.
he was a wrestler.
Yeah, you want to know a funny story about him? He almost got
White
me
dude?
jumped. Yeah,
White Ray,
yeah, he almost got me jumped.
little Alec,
Mm-hmm.
Alec Ranger.
He almost got me jumped
Wow.
because his name's Ray.
Damn.
Apparently, he did something to some girl, and like her brother had like 3 dudes.
I remember this. I
combing
straight
the
remember
school
this.
for a nigga named Ray. That's not.
That's not me.
I want you to know there were 2 motherfuckers named Ray in that school.
Yeah.
There were only 3 in all of the schoolings, and the other guy was a basketball player 2 grades behind me.
But not. We went to
That man almost got me jumped.
Alec, little white boy Alec.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn.
He probably don't even know he almost got
Yeah,
me
no, I
jumped.
said he probably don't even know. But I said he told us that he got it, and it was the 2-disc. It was the 2-disc. So you had the download disc and then the game disc, right? And we all cramped up in that hot ass room. We got Marcos, and we ran down to Circle K and got drinks and shit, and we sat there for 4 hours, and we watched that shit load. And then we
That
finally
fucking
That
was so
download.
that
bad.
download was
Jesus.
so bad, dog. And then
That
after
is a
4 hours,
wild download.
me and 2 other niggas were awake, bruh, and fucking we started playing. And man, I still remember that night.
Yo,
I still remember that night. Like, I feel like kids will never get to know what that feels like nowadays, because you can just buy
We
shit
don't-
online.
You can just do it all online now.
I'm gonna just buy it in the morning. I'll download it in the morning.
yep.
Like, it's all on demand now.
I'm on GTA 5 for the next decade, like these most recent years. The games that have like so far that have revolutionized the gaming industry, GTA 5 is one of them.
Yeah,
That game,
still going
and it's
strong.
it's
Niggas,
funny.
I still play the online.
Still going.
Yeah,
I still play the
It
online.
revolutionized it for 2 reasons, and one of it is the same reason San Andreas revolutionized it.
I can't wait for 6.
I can't wait either, dog.
That'll be a
But like,
great
it was
day.
just so big and so packed with things to do in the game. It was unfathomable.
And they keep putting new shit in
Yeah,
there.
and then you went
Constantly.
online and could do all the shit in
Constantly
the game,
new
but
shit.
online, dog.
Bro, online, I am one of the
I wish it-
dirtiest motherfuckers.
I wish.
I'm telling you. If Black Air Force existed, bro, my nigga on GTA would be there, flat out. My nigga does not care.
I wish that game didn't get so toxic. I wish the online did not get so toxic. I would have stayed with it. Because that online is crazy, but dog, them lobbies
love
are
it.
crazy.
I love it. I'll literally hop in. I'll hop in and I'll make sure that my CEO is on, and I'll have 2. I'll make sure that I at least have 2 of my niggas with me.
You have to.
Always. My nigga Jawan, shout out my nigga Jawan, my nigga Derek.
Geronimo.
I say I'll normally have both of them niggas with me, and fucking sure enough, bro, the moment one of them niggas gets on one of them fucking bikes, one of them little aerial bikes,
Yep.
and they think they slick, and you blow me up, you gonna be in my lobby.
It's a sad day in hell for you.
You gonna be in my lobby for about another
Yeah.
10 minutes, and you gonna leave.
I
And
want
I'm
to
gonna
say,
tell you,
Big sad day
and
for
I'm
you.
gonna tell you why you gonna leave, because I'm gonna grief the fuck out of you, nigga. You can run into your house. It don't matter. I got niggas spotted right on you. I am on your ass. You are gonna have. I will, bro. I've literally done that. I've literally sat outside a nigga's house in GTA Online for 45 minutes, flat out.
You are the
I
reason
am that
why
nigga.
you
I
were the
am
reason
that
why
nigga.
that game is
Yeah.
so
And then
bad.
he came
Wow,
outside.
you're a
Nah, he
terrible
came out.
human.
He came outside. He came outside. Saw my proximity mines. Rolled his car into my proximity mines. Blew it up. And nigga, I shot that nigga in the foot. Fucking crippled him. And I pulled out a bat. And I just started beating. I said, "Fuck a gun, nigga. I'm gonna beat you slow." And
Look,
that nigga left.
I was
like a
gonna
pussy.
say.
You thought you was gonna grief
think
me,
I-
Like a
nigga?
bitch.
Yeah, you thought you was gonna grief me, nigga? Nah, this is my lobby now.
I was about to say that
Asshole.
that was some of the funnest things is seeing who could come in and take over a lobby. I'll say that was
Oh, bro.
hilarious watching that stuff.
Oh yeah, no niggas in tanks, jets.
Honorable mention for me is Mario Odyssey. Only because Mario Odyssey branched out Mario games for a lot more further developments.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'd be
Without
honest-
Mario Odyssey, I believe we wouldn't have. Without the positive feedback from Mario Odyssey,
Can we just say?
For-
Can we just say
yeah.
the games from GameCube in general? I feel like and I know we've
gotta
touched
be
on
careful.
this. I know we've touched on
Star
this
Fox
because
game was on the
that's-
GameCube.
you gotta be
Gotta be
careful.
careful.
You gotta
Listen.
be careful. Star Fox was
Listen.
on the GameCube.
listen, a wise man once said that you can write 10 questions on the board, get 9 right and 1 wrong, and everyone will look at the 1 wrong instead of 9 you got right.
That-
GameCube,
that one wrong is
GameCube
really
had
bad.
a
That
cluster.
one wrong is real
Well, guess
strong,
what else
though.
Firefox was on? The Xbox. Came
Yeah.
out first on the Xbox, so let's
Yeah.
not forget that. Let's not forget that.
I
Fair.
can't.
They
I
should have
can't
stopped.
argue that.
They should have stopped at the Xbox, but they were like, "Nah, fuck it, we'll push it back 1 more too." But
You know what? I got one more honorable mention for 2000s.
mhm.
Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that don't know, it was the vehicle combat game, the Star Wars vehicle combat game.
I remember.
Yeah, it was the one where it had
just
the
literally
the
fucking
gunship
forgot.
on
Yeah.
Camino as the
if you
game
wanted,
thing.
if you
That game
wanted
was
your,
fire.
if you wanted your Star Fox craze, but you couldn't get Star Fox,
you
that was
played
how
that
you
one.
get it.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You played that.
that game.
If
that
you
game
didn't
was
like
great.
Ace Combat, you played that.
You played that.
That game was great.
Yeah.
It didn't really revolutionize the world, but we're talking about older games we loved as a kid. That game was great.
You know, I don't mean to talk shit about it, and I'll probably get bashed in the comment section. What is it like? Am I missing something in Ace Combat? Is that why I'm not good at it? It just seems
Yeah.
so linear.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
You take off, destroy plane, come back.
I've played a few. I get why people like it.
If I played online, I would understand.
Yeah,
But-
I was say it really doesn't get good till online.
Yeah.
Cause hey, look, that Star Wars Battlefront 2. Y'all was in them spaceships, them space battles.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Nah, yeah.
Lit.
You dodging and weaving.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Them games were fun, or them modes were fun. Basically, if we're talking 2010s revolutionary, we got to bring up Dark Souls.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Not specifically Dark Souls 3.
Yeah. Yeah, well, specifically Dark Souls 3. That was the
Specifically,
big one.
Dark Souls 3.
That was the big one
That was the
Yeah.
big one that really, really made it for what it
Yeah.
was for real.
Sekiro, though, in my opinion, was more. So
Here-
Dark Souls 3.
I feel like for Sekiro and Elder Scrolls,
Elden Ring or
not
Elden Scrolls?
No, not Elden Ring.
Okay.
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Right.
Elden Ring.
Here's my problem
I feel
with
like
both of
they
them.
went and they.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I want Tone to finish.
I feel like they went in a very right direction with Sekiro.
I think they went in a safe direction.
I feel like it went in an evolutionary manner of Dark Souls 3. Like, Dark Souls, the game series, was a great base. 3 is the strongest. They took 3 and they added on to the combat system and parry system of 3, and they created Sekiro. And then after that, they were like, okay, let's take the mechanics of 3 and the combat system that we took from Sekiro, and let's maximize our ability to customize your character, and they did Elden Ring, which was the final. In my opinion, I think that's how that goes.
I can see that.
I
But
definitely
I'm-
agree about the evolution apart.
Yeah, I'll agree that they're all
100%.
Like, I felt like I knew where you were coming from. and
Yeah,
I was just like, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Elden Ring.
Evolution.
Perfect evolution.
It was
'Cause,
like the
Dark
perfect
Souls 3,
evolution.
the combat movement and the interaction with the game was 100% perfect compared to all the other Dark Souls. Sekiro, though, and Sekiro is not technically a Dark Souls game, but it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
It is a vibe.
It's the same. It's a vibe and relatively same gameplay. It kept the same level of movement from Dark Souls 3, but it added a better, in my opinion, more maintainable targeting system.
Yeah.
And it involved skill tree attachments that could increase blocking, which in 3 you could not do. You were
Not at all.
You were just rolling. So now you have rolling, blocking, and parry, which now adds a huge repertoire to combos. On top of the fact that now you also have a fatigue meter and a posture meter that you have to pay attention to. And there's one boss on the bridge, and he's a nigga with a whole suit on, and you cannot injure him. You literally
all.
have to get him to charge at you to break down a wall, and you have to get his posture high enough. You have to get his posture low enough to where you can kick him to where he'll kneel, and then you have to fucking do a Spartan kick on him to kick him off the bridge. And in order to do that, you can't, like, that's the thing. Sekiro took, because there's obviously there was a difficulty to Dark Souls 3, right? It involved a lot of movement, and yes, it did involve your weaponry. But when it came to Sekiro, you had your katana, your shinobi prosthetic, which gave you limited, granted good shit, but relatively limited against an opponent that you can't injure, and you can't damage them. So now the game is requiring you to focus on building posture, which when I first came across that character, I didn't know how to do that.
Right.
That character took me a grip to beat, because I realized, fuck, I can't go in there and think that this is a battle. I have to play this smart. I gotta get this nigga worn out. And then they carried that into Elden Ring, but they were like, all right, let's give these niggas 100% customization.
And
they
let's just throw
did.
some ridiculous weapons in
I would say
Right.
let's just add some ridiculous
Yeah.
weapons on top of
And
all the
now-
bullshit.
And now they got mods.
Yeah.
Now they got mods. Niggas are throwing out blickies.
Speaking of mods, did you know there were this will segue perfectly into revolutionary game, but did you know there are Elden Ring fighting combat system mods for Skyrim?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that actually.
But yeah, no, if we want to talk about another revolutionary game, it's Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Skyrim
And still being played to this day.
Yeah. Still getting played.
Skyrim
Shout out Andy.
revolutionized
Shout out Andy.
the RPG. Just the single player story driven RPG. It revolutionized it by making I think at that point there wasn't a single game that even the other Elden Ring games that were anywhere near as deep of a like combat system as it was, because you had magic, which you in the magic route you had all these different all these different schools of magic you had to go through, which made you approach combat differently.
Right.
Then you had, when it came to melee, you had the system was so vanilla
Yeah.
that it supported every melee archetype there was. A lot from long. It put it like this: you could sword shield it.
Right.
You could do your great weapons.
Right.
You can do your one-handed weapon, just a straight one-handed, just a one-handed sword, and just out-swordsmanship everybody.
Right.
You could do two swords. You could do sword dagger. You could do throwing dagger. You had a full archery system to where you could even fight people with the bow. In melee combat, if they got close enough to you, along with the sneaking rule,
Yeah.
you could straight up be a ranger. And the way you could build characters in that game was so ridiculous.
Different for its time.
Yeah, for its time was like unheard of.
You know,
And-
I'm sorry. I didn't.
You're good. I was like, and to prove my point, there's a YouTube channel that specifically just does builds,
Yeah.
modded builds or unmodded builds.
I've seen a couple.
I've
of
seen
them
a couple. I was just
channels.
I've seen a
which is
couple
pretty
of them.
dope.
Fucking wild.
And I'm like, that game was crazy.
You know, it came to me as you were talking, and I totally didn't think about another honorable mention from the early 2000s that started was Fire Emblem.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a
I've
good.
Fire
personally
Emblem-
never played any of the Fire Emblem games. Oh my god! But I want to.
Let me tell you. So, Fire Emblem, in my opinion, Fire Emblem is super underrated. Super,
100% agree.
super underrated.
100% agree.
Fire Emblem was my first introduction to like MMORPGs for like handheld consoles,
Yeah.
right? But it also gave permadeath.
Yeah.
Like in Final
Immediate
Fantasy,
permadeath.
in Final Fantasy, if one of your homies, dies, shit, slap that nigga Phoenix down, and you coolin'. You know what I'm saying? In Fire Emblem, if Marth dies,
Marth dies.
if Marth dies, and that nigga is your commander, that's game.
That's game.
The game
That's
ends.
it.
You go back to square one.
Yep.
Flat out. If Jack dies, oh my god. So there was a character, and that's the thing too.
As I think you've told
there
this
are
story
yeah,
before.
I was about to say, I don't know if I told the, yeah, I told the Jack story, bro. Poor R.I.P. my nigga Jack. But like Fire Emblem really that game was so immersive for it's not like young Bryce thought that game. I thought Fire Emblem was the shit, and I've tried to find it.
is.
I've tried to find it today, like the same old Game Boy copy, and I can't find it.
Yeah, you're not going to.
And I know I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
but
no,
like
Fire Emblem was revolutionary, not because of again any technical issues or any like things, but it was just a
good
gameplay
game.
decision.
yeah,
The decision to make a character like die
right. What was
invested you
outrageous.
so heavily into the game
Was outrageous.
that you didn't
literally
it got
were
to
in
the point
tears.
where you didn't want to leave the game. Is from
Not at all.
Is what I keep. That's basically what I hear people talk about. Is when they played the game, they didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
I used to know a kid who played the Fire Emblem games, and I ain't gonna say his name, but he ended up spending a few months in juvie because he was playing the game, and he's playing Fire Emblem, and his mom, like, they were like in combat or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was a real tight one. His character was on the verge of death, and he was in there because he didn't want his character to die. He didn't tell me which one it was,
Yeah.
but apparently his mom like got in front of the TV or something because she was like trying to tell him to clean his room or something. And as an adult, yeah, understandable. But apparently he ended up misclicking a button or something,
And it wound up getting him
and his
killed.
favorite character died.
And it wound up getting yep.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, I am
And
telling you.
he said he regretted this immediately, but in the
heat of the moment.
in the heat of the moment, because it was his mom's fault.
Yep.
He got up and he pushed her down. Yeah,
Should've done
and
that.
she called the cops on him, and he had to spend a month in juvie.
Shouldn't have done that, homie.
That's that rage right there.
That's that rage. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When Jack died, I screamed.
Yeah,
I screamed. Jack, dude, oh my god, I leveled up that nigga so high, bro. He was such a saucy nigga. He had all the zest. He was literally the zestiest nigga on my team, flat out. And he just got ganged up on. He got ganged up on by 5 niggas on horses, 5 niggas on horse and a Wyvern rider, dog. What that, bro?
Oh,
Like that, it was on, bro. It was on some Lord of the Rings shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like they hit this nigga. Like I never saw it coming. Like that, because that's the thing about Fire Emblem. Everywhere you put your character, you have to pay attention to what's around you, because like you'll click and you can click on an enemy and you can see how far they can move. And I clicked on the enemies that were relatively close to me, and I was like, okay, that nigga probably gonna miss me. That nigga probably gonna miss me. That nigga might hit me. That other nigga might. I might be able to get away with getting hit by like 3 people, but only like 3 niggas can make it to me, right? I didn't peep that there was a fucking champion horseman like fucking 5 squares back that could run halfway across the map and still swing, and there's a Wyvern rider that can literally one-shot my entire fucking squad if he wants
Jeez.
to at the top of the mountain, and that nigga just came swooping all the way down, and Jack was already at 3 health. I literally saw that Wyvern rider coming for Jack, and I was like, no, no. In the moment, it just went to just some giant black dragon and some nigga with a spear, and all I see is this little nigga with a sword in his hand, and I'm like, oh, Jack. Oh, buddy, you're going to die.
He's about to die.
And, bruh, oh, my God. I was on the road with my dad, and I literally just closed my SP, turned it off, and threw it on the fucking ground. He was like, what happened? And I just looked at him with tears in my eyes. I was like, Jack just died. And he was like, who the fuck is Jack? I was so mad, dog.
But yeah, no.
I just looked it up, bro. I can get it for $30. I'm about to buy it.
Hey, there you
I'm
go.
about to buy it, bro. I'm about to get
There
nostalgic
are
on this thing.
power of technology or power of internet at this,
Yep.
at this
Power
time.
of the internet,
Yeah, Amazon
dog.
is crazy.
Shout-
Was
yeah,
it
I
on
say-
Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon,
Yep,
eBay,
Power, yeah, and Power.
retro games. I can get a sealed copy for like $100.
A sealed copy.
Yeah, I can get a sealed copy for $129.
All right.
Yeah.
I
I
feel-
don't want the sealed copy. I'm gonna play it. I'm
There's
gonna make my nigga
I
Jack
know-
the captain this time.
I know I'm saying a lot of Star Wars games. There's one more that I played in the 2010s. It didn't come out in the 2010s. I think it came out in the 2000s.
Homefront.
But I didn't play it till like 2012.
Homefront.
It's Empire at War.
Oh, Empire at War.
It was
You're a different nigga.
I am. It was it was a
He's
strategy.
such a different nigga, Bryce. I swear he is.
It was a
Empire
strategy.
War wasn't really my cup of tea. Honestly,
It wasn't
but
a lot of people's
It
cup of
was a
tea.
good game.
It wasn't a lot of people's cup of tea, but
It survived.
yeah, because it was interesting enough, and I think the Star
to
Wars
keep
IP
niggas
on
into
it
Yeah.
really helped.
Yeah.
Because,
If
I
it would
think
have
if
been
it-
another coated paint,
yeah, I think if it had
niggas
another
would
coat of
not
paint,
been
it
hate-
wouldn't have
hype on
done.
it.
But essentially, the way Empire at War is there are games like Age of Empires, or basically you create your niggas and you send them. The easiest way I can describe it is anybody that's played Clash of Clans.
Okay.
It's pretty much you make your niggas.
Right. You send your niggas.
You send them off, except instead of all that stuff, you were on like a MOBA style map, and you had to send them over to the enemy base and win.
Okay.
And you could get, if you played the game correctly, you could get up to like where you can summon like Darth Vader and like at that time Mara Jade, at Palpatine, Luke Skywalker, all them guys. And you could have your heroes go fight, and it was so cool. I love strategy games, and I thought that game was great. And I thought it was revolutionary, but people didn't agree with me because
That's fair.
the game barely stayed alive, and I've been debating if I want to. You know what? I might buy that game again and stream it a little bit if y'all ever want to see it. Let me know.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, if I get Fire Emblem and y'all niggas want to see that too, let me know.
I bet.
Yeah,
All
niggas
games shall be
Fire,
done on
yeah.
streaming.
Yeah, I say yeah.
Weeps
If
and
you-
streaming.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah, if y'all-
games y'all want to see,
Yeah, if
bring
y'all
it
want to
up
see
to
us
what we were
Bring
stream,
talking
it, bring it
about
up. We
in
can
the
talk
beginning,
about.
yeah.
We'll definitely start playing the motherfuckers.
yeah, so y'all want to see us play some older games, we could. I've been debating if I want to buy Sekiro and finally play through it that way. It's probably the only way I'm
Beat
gonna
y'all
be able to
niggas
play
to
through
some
it.
conquer.
I want to listen. If you do, the day you play Sekiro, when you stream it, I want to watch. I want, as someone who has beaten it, I want to be there because I've told you since the day. I think the day I came on this podcast, I made the comment to you. I was like, you got to play it. You just got to play it. It's
We
so,
shall see.
it's so good. At some point, we'll probably get like an Elden Ring thing popping. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
We-
Y'all gonna see me
Weebs at the
scream. Y'all
ring.
gonna see me yell
Yeah.
and scream way too much.
Weebs at the ring.
Weaves at the here goes a game that revolutionized storytelling. Because we've had some cool story up until this game. We've had some good stories, some iconic stories.
Yeah.
But this game, no one really believed you could tell a story this beautiful. And I'm talking about Shadow of Colossus.
It was a good
I
game.
thought you was gonna say the Origami Killer, Heavy
I actually
Rain.
didn't play that game.
You didn't play. He didn't play Heavy Rain.
I did not play Heavy Rain.
Oh my! So Shadow Colossus. Take back what you said. Can't say it until you play Heavy Rain. I'm
Nope.
sorry.
Yes, I can.
So, as
Shadow-
someone who's played both, Shadow of Colossus is good.
It's good.
It is good. It is a very
It's
emotional
very beautiful.
game.
Very beautiful emotional.
Very,
Very
well
beautiful.
choreographed game. I actually rebought it on the PS4.
Good, as you should.
Actually,
Yeah, it was
rebought
good.
Yeah,
I
it's
almost
a great
did.
game. Heavy Rain though. It's like the Clannad of storytelling.
Yeah,
dog.
that's the
Like,
Clannad. I'm sorry.
like
you
that.
gotta.
It hurts.
If not play, watch it. It is actually
yeah.
immersive. It's really
yeah,
immersive.
Actually, yeah, no, real
Really,
shit. Like after the
I think
podcast,
there's
you
what,
could
like
probably
five,
watch like
what, I think there's like 50 different endings in the fucking story.
yeah.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, it's like that.
Big oof.
It's
In
like
Sekiro,
that. It's like that.
In Sekiro, you have like 3 options, but you only have 2 outcomes.
This motherfucker.
That does pique my interest quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch like a 30, 45-minute video, like a really quick, super quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look on Steam and I'm gonna see.
It's very
I'm gonna add it-
good.
I'm gonna-
It's
I'm gonna
very
add it to my
good.
wish list.
I'm
We'll see.
honestly surprised you haven't even heard of it.
I've heard of it. I've just never played it.
True.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. That's
It's a good
that's the.
I'm
man.
still gonna say Shadow Colossus because that game.
To your knowledge, Shadow
When,
Colossus.
when year did Heavy Rain come out?
Gotta get them salamanders, know what I'm saying?
Trust the internet.
Because I was like, to my knowledge, there weren't too many like mainstream games up at that time that were known for good stories. At that time, I think it was literally just like Halo,
Yeah.
and then like the Legend of Zelda's story was complicated, but they were pretty. It was pretty cool. Or their games were pretty cool.
Yeah. I lost Zelda after Twilight.
2010.
Same.
2010 is Heavy Rain.
Yeah. Heavy Rain, and then Colossus is 11, right?
I
No,
believe so.
Twilight Princess was like the last Zelda game to actually like grip me, storyline wise.
see, I didn't really care for it.
I didn't care for it, but the tone of the game and the combat and the change up of the game in Twilight kept me immersed enough to ignore it. But then after that, I lost total care for most Legend of Zelda games after that.
Oh, I do want to say
Majora's Mask is the best in my opinion.
definitely.
Best story in my opinion.
Dynasty Warriors. While it's trash right now, absolute dog shit.
There was
I was just
revolutionary
nodding my
in their
head
own
like,
era.
let me explain that.
There was 100%
When Dynasty Warriors
Era.
first came out, there was no
Yeah.
game doing that.
None.
Just literally
That type of war scare.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was active warfare, and you got to control your heroes on the battlefield, and they got to act wild. That you didn't see that anyway. You still don't see
Note
that.
to mention that your enemy NPC gets to acting wild too.
Yeah.
Then you have to run over to the battlefield to handle they bitch ass.
Yep.
And then it just keeps on going and going.
And the harder difficulties you go, the less competent your army is.
Oh my God! Tell me about it.
Oh,
That
playing
was
that game on
so
the-
struggling.
Playing that game on the hardest difficulty, this is your gameplay loop. You start fucking up the enemy. Cool, yeah, all right. Your the enemy leader deploys. He's fucking up. Your guys have no answer to him.
None.
They just can't.
They
deal
just
with
getting flung around like
Yeah,
ants.
They can't deal with him. So you were like, all right, I gotta run over to the battle. I gotta run over to where he's at. Go deal with him. But when you go deal with him, the area
Yep.
you just in is what getting waxed. You
Yep.
have like 2 other areas getting waxed, and it's
Yep.
just you running across, waxing everything. You on a constant rampage trying to wax things and keep the enemy commander in check. Because your people are absolutely incompetent.
All until you finally get the boss to come out.
So,
Like some of them bosses were wild.
Some of them bosses was wild as fuck. I ain't gonna sit and lie to you.
me and Tone were talking about this game the other day, and I couldn't remember the name of it, and I made the comment that it was Jump Force, but it was made way back in the 90s. And it was like before Jump Force was a thing, and it was called Jump Star.
Yeah.
That's what it was called. Fucking, dude, bring Jump Star back.
Here's my
Flat
problem
out.
with all the jump games.
Have
Maybe
you
not
played-
the old ones. I don't really play the old
I
ones.
was about to say, have you played Jump Star?
But the
Jump
like,
Star is a different
Jump
animal.
Stars. I've heard good things about it. But like all the other jump games, like the Shonen Jump ones,
Right.
yeah, like a lot of them are just like cash grabs nowadays, and I hate it
Because
so much.
because like the characters and shit.
no, it's not even just that. Like you have Jump Force, like the actual Jump Force.
Right.
It's a Xenoverse clone that had no effort into it.
So, right. So I hear you. That's why I'm saying Jump Star. That's why I'm saying Jump Star. Because you had, right? Think about it too. You're talking like back in like early 2000s, early 90s, right? Or late 90s, right? So there's only a couple animes to choose from. Or actually, no, this was 2006, right? So there's a couple animes to choose from at this point. So we're talking Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, basic, right?
Yeah.
Basic. Bobo.
That's a kind of spicy pick.
Gintama,
Okay, I can see
Ryuta
that.
Kenshin.
Yeah, Jumpstart had a
They
lot
put
of
Rune and
people.
Kenshin in there.
Shaman King,
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Reborn,
Ooh,
Yu-Gi-Oh,
that's
Madoka
given.
Box, D Grayman.
that's
Bro,
great.
they were the tennis nigga from Shonen Jump. Yeah,
wow.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Light Yagami was in it.
They had a
Fucking
lot of
the
people.
blonde haired nigga from that Go show I was telling you about. He was in it.
Kinshiro, Renji Abadai.
It's wild. It's wild, right?
They
so
also
that's
had Pegasus Seiya.
yeah, Pegasus. Yep,
Pegasus
Yep.
Seiya.
Yep.
Such a
I
fucking
say no, they had Seiya.
game.
But see, like that game. That's why when I heard Jump Force, because when Jump Force first came out at E3, right, when they showed the release for it, they told everyone at E3 that the characters that were in the release for that trailer, right, was literally, they said that it was about 30% of the roster for Jump Force. Nigga, that was the whole roster until 6 months after it dropped, and then they gave us 2 DLCs, and we all knew there was going to be some bougie shit.
Yep.
And just like Ray said, it was a cutout. But if you go back to
With the-
Jump Stars
yeah.
and Jump Star Super, right, bro, the combos you could pull, like, bro, it was like imagine old school Street Fighter, like Street Fighter 2, Street
Yeah.
Fighter 3, right, with anime combos, but it's niggas from so many genres. So many, dog. Like you, bruh, it didn't. You thought you was gonna wreck shit with, bro. I remember
It was
niggas.
Mugen before Mugen came.
Nah, bro,
For
the
real?
nail nigga from Madoka Box. I used to wax niggas with him. I cannot remember his name, but the black haired nail nigga with from Madoka Box that would smile all the time. I used to wax niggas' asses and jump stars with that nigga. Flat the fuck out. It was such a good game, and then they fucked it up.
I was like, I
And
know
they
there
fucked
was
it
a
up with Jump Force.
Yo,
How
Jump
could
Force
you?
is so bad.
Jump Force is absolute
And
ass.
they were-
yeah,
they
I'm
were
looking at the
correct.
cameras. I say this. It's ass. Whoever the fuck made that game and decided to publish that, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Funny part is,
Terrible.
they were correct.
Hmm.
That roster they showed at E3, it was 30% of the roster, just not 30% of the release day roster.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
It was 30% of the roster after all the DLC characters came out
Right.
that you had to pay for
And they weren't even all that good.
individually.
They weren't even all that good. The best character was Bisky.
Yeah,
That was the
Jump
best
Force. I
character.
did not like Jump Force.
yeah. No,
was
Jump
trash.
Force.
It was cool. I could make my own character, but even the character creation was ugly looking.
Ugly as hell.
Look, I could not understand for the life.
And the
still don't
Xenoverse
understand.
bad guy, the Xenoverse bad bro, that nigga came straight out of a cookie cutter Xenoverse. Like that nigga came from the DBZ universe, flat out. I was like, bruh, who is this nigga?
Like even Xenoverse 1, Xenoverse 2, like I don't want like Jump Force.
That nigga-
Y'all literally had the Dragon Ball brand.
Right.
How
Why?
how did that happen that you just got beat? Like you have the game right there in front of you.
And
They didn't want to use what they had.
They used the same move sets for Goku. All the characters too in that game, bro. They had the same move sets from their previous. That's really what pissed me off about it. It wasn't even the character selection. It was more or less the fact that all the characters you could select from, their moves were all the same from their
Yeah,
most
whatever
previous install.
Yeah,
Naruto Storm 4, all of Naruto's move. One Piece just had a game that dropped like 4 months prior, and literally
Yep.
down to the fucking animation scenes, Luffy's is 100% the same. They
Yep.
literally just copy and pasted on some last minute edit
Yep,
shit.
they sure
It
did.
was
Right?
It was the laziest version, and that game had so much potential. Because I want people to understand this. Xenoverse is only popular because you get to give a person the ability to create their own character and throw out, and
Random shit.
yeah, and just be a DBZ fighter.
The wildest thing that Jump Force did when they added characters, who the fuck was it? I just thought of him. He wasn't from Dragon Ball.
Was it Madara?
No,
Or-
no, it was Ichigo and Aizen.
Oh yeah,
Ichigo and Aizen, hands down, were probably the two most difficult characters for them to customize and create movesets for, solely because them niggas have not had a game since the Wii, and that there ain't no
You're-
way they're gonna cut and paste some weed
Hell
shit.
no.
Ain't no way.
Hell no.
I ain't gonna lie. When they said Sosuke Aizen and Ichigo were getting dropped, I was like, okay, I might check it out. I'll give it a
Movesets
fancy.
wasn't hitting.
What? Nah.
I didn't play Jump Force enough to know.
Dog, the amount of cancer. So the wall that Sosuke Aizen could summon that could stop dashes, I would piss niggas off so
You're a toxic player.
hard with that wall, dog. Like niggas would be on my bumpers for like a hot minute, and I would get a brief second. They dash me, and I'd be like wall, and it would stop all forward motion. And I'd just wombo combo,
You ain't shit.
and they'd be like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And I'd be like, "Nah, nigga, you thought you was just gonna beat my ass? And I was gonna take it? Nah,
nigga, nah.
This is my domain."
Well, on that note, we know Bryce, very toxic player. On some straight cancer.
He's not allowed to say that.
I can say that whatever I want.
He's not
Is
allowed
this
to
nigga
say
Ray?
that.
Is this
Yup.
nigga Ray
Not
calling
allowed
me
to say
toxic?
that.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray.
Is it the pot calling the kettle black? Sure.
Nah, that's the.
You just said you used to
that's
grief
the
people
precious-
in GTA 5.
That's the
you
precious.
can't deny it.
That's the precious purple nigga with the kettle or with the pot calling the kettle black. That's what that is.
I don't know what you're talking. I'm not.
That's the
toxic.
dark void calling the kettle
I,
black.
what you? I don't know what you're talking. I don't play toxic. Nah.
Wait till we drop this magic game, chat. You gonna see.
Y'all gonna see. Y'all
You're gonna see
Or y'all could just watch me on stream.
the plug. The quickest plug in, real quick.
Let me just go ahead and plug that in real
Yeah,
quick.
just plug that in there, real
'Cause
quick.
I do stream Spell Table.
At Weebs in the Hood.
Yes, sir.
Streaming.
Come check us out. But I think that is going to be all for this week.
Until next time on Weebs in the Hood.